different way if you lose out there, right?
Yeah, the same amount of money will be lost, but you don't break any bones.
It's a different kind of pain.
Yeah, so one bike having issues right there in the middle of 1 and 2, puts his hand up. Does not go down, but definitely having issues over there in 1 and 2. They've told him to get to the inside, out of harm's way if they can. And what I've noticed different in this one, Ralph, is the first session, they were all above the groove. These guys are all dropped right down to the groove immediately.
This place is wide, too, isn't it?
Oh, it looks like it's the same width all the way around.
Yeah, really does.
Which is very forgiving. Like if you slip the groove in the corner, you know, you don't have to hit the wall immediately or the air fence. You have a little bit of time to scrub some speed. And there's another bike having an issue right there. Looks like the 61 off the pace. The early leader that went out in the front of this one was down there below the groove. There he is, coasting down the back straightaway. So that is part of this racetrack too. If you're leaving it on so long, it will take something out of those motorcycles.
No doubt about it. When you put them at full speed like that, at full rev, the RPMs all the way just maxed out all the way around, that's a lot of pressure on these engines.
Definitely is.
Stress and strain.
Full song down the front straightaway, tucked in, trying to get as small as they can and break the draft. Looks like Lowry's leading this lap. Bronson Bauman right there on the Fast Track Racing KTM.
You and I were talking about it earlier. Not only is this a big racetrack, it's a big facility.
Oh, yeah. We drove forever just to find the mission tent.
I've never seen so many horse barns in my entire life set up for horse racing. They're everywhere.
Look back, there's Nick Armstrong. He's running right above the groove. Yeah, we had a nice little drive from, we're actually announcing outside turn number 1. We drove through some barns, through some parking lots, around the corner, and then we finally made it to the pit area.
Pit area, which is way over on the other side.
Yep, the amateurs pitted inside the racetrack yesterday. The pros pitting outside turn number 4.
Well, the amateurs are kind of racing all around the place too, right?
Yeah, they've been in 3 different locations. Actually, they're in their 4th different location today. They're the amateurs, the youth and the vet riders are at the indoor facility right now. They should be finishing up any time now, make their way over here. I said Bronson just a moment ago. That was not Bronson. He was in that first group. Must have caught somebody else out of the corner of my eye. There's John Cox right there in the 96 back there, trying to get some laps in. Don't have any times for you just yet. We'll work on that and get them to you as soon as we can. The Magic Mile. Checkered flag must be out. Looks like they're all kind of slowing down a little bit. There goes the 60. No, that was some bright yellow leathers out there. Dan Bromley was scheduled to be in that first one, but taking it nice and slow in this cool down lap. 99 Kevin Stallings. It looks like he's suited better nowadays for the twin. When he first burst onto the scene, he was very strong on those 450s, and now it looks like he's more comfortable on the twin-cylinder motorcycles. That might just fit your style a little bit better. That was the second group of Mission Super Twins. Up next, your Parts Limited AMT Singles Class, sponsored by Kicker Performance Audio.
Well, you got the weight.
Oh, there's somebody's exhaust. That wouldn't feel good.
Got the weight to deal with, the size of the bike, seating position, right? The height of the bike, and also power delivery is going to be radically different, right?
And the response when you grab a handful, I hope he doesn't pick that up.
Speaking of a handful, that could hurt,
that
right?
might be a little bit warm.
Yeah, that might be a little.
Yeah, maybe wait.
Yeah. Use your. There you go. Smart guy. As you were saying about the
I was going to say, like the delivery of the power is definitely different on a twin than a single. On a single, here you probably much wide open all the way around. When you get on that twin, you might have to kind of roll it on, especially as the track will dry out. So the power delivery, getting that power hooked up to the ground is completely different from a single to a twin.
Yeah.
They're checking on things right there. Yeah, we'll see him. Let's see if we can just replay.
If we had a smart move of the race award, this would be it right here.
He's got it so far. He ran down and barely touched it, and it definitely was warm. It looks like I'm not sure who that came off of. We saw a couple different bikes slowing
Whichever
down.
bike is really loud.
Billy Ross looks like he doesn't have his exhaust sticking out the rear. Yep, he's looking back. So when that thing sounds different, the best thing to do is to to hit that kill switch as soon as you can so you don't hurt the motor. But if it's a race, you let it all hang out. It doesn't matter how loud it is at that point.
You wait till they black flag you at that point.
Yeah, or until you finish.
Speaking of kill switch, we saw him earlier.
Yeah, Jacob Van de Kooi, rumor is he's going pro next weekend at the Lima, Ohio.
Well, it was a rumor. He kind of confirmed it to us, didn't he?
It was on, a friend of mine actually owns Pro Plates, and he's already made some plates for Kill Switch, and he'll make his pro debut next weekend at Lima, Ohio, as he is an Ohio native. And Kill Switch is Jacob Van de Kooi, Jared Van de Kooi's little brother.
You want to tell the story how that happened?
Well, yeah, we might as well since we're waiting on the track to be clear. So a few years back, there was a class called the GNC2 class, and Van de Kooi had won. I think he won that back-to-back days, but one of the days, Jacob Van de Kooi climbed on in front of Jared, sat on the gas tank. They take off down the front straightaway, get off into the first corner, and maybe into corner number 2, and all of a sudden, the bike just stalls and stops running, and he coasts from turn number 2 around turn number 2 and stops halfway down that back straightaway. So kill switch, Jacob Van de Kooi actually hit the kill switch on that victory lap, and so that name is stuck with him.
It's a hard way to get a nickname.
Well, it works, though.
It does.
He laughs at me every time I say it. It's funny.
It's pretty funny.
There we are.
Yeah, there we are.
Outside turn number 1 in our suite.
Yeah. Also known as a closet.
Also known as the front of the semi. As much as Brad Jones thinks he's in the front of the semi.
They're truly in the back.
We're in the front. They're in the back.
Yeah,
exactly. So the Magic Mile, here it is. What a fun track. They race cars here.
Yes, they do. Stock cars and open wheel.
I'd like to see an open wheel non-wing event.
Well, they run what is now known as the USAC Silver Crown Series here.
Okay.
And they run the ARCA stock cars here as well. That's usually the same weekend, Labor Day weekend, that we'll be over in Springfield, the other state fairgrounds here in Illinois.
Yeah.
We'll be closing out our season over there.
They also have a half-mile pea gravel track out closer to the highway, and they race trotter horses out there.
Yeah, the sulkies, yeah.
The sulkies. That's easy for you to say. Yeah, the amateurs will be racing over there tomorrow morning. If you're sticking around, you want to see some amateur races. They get started with practice at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
The big open wheel event here is in honor of the legendary Ted Horn, who was killed here coming off of turn 4.
Yeah.
And that's when it used to be a part of what was then the Indianapolis IndyCar Championship Trail, the big cars as they would call them.
Okay.
The drivers then, you would run the Indianapolis 500. You'd run other open wheel races that were part of that championship series, and some of them were on dirt, some of them were road courses, and some of them were paved ovals. You'd run places like Milwaukee and IRP in Indianapolis as well, and then they'd run the dirt places like here, Springfield. Indianapolis has, of course, a dirt mile, Sacramento, places like that.
That's awesome. Again, I don't know if you were quite in here when I was talking about it, but this is one of the few tracks that is on the mile circuit that actually has some banking to it.
There's Bob Sargent right there, just walking out onto the track.
That is the
track promoter here.
So I believe they're working on the timing and scoring loops right now, which is on the front straightaway. So looks like they're sending the first group of singles back to the pit area at the moment.
So Bob Sargent might be one of the best promoters in the country, period. He promotes everything and anything you can possibly think of, and no matter where you live in the country, there's probably a Bob Sargent promoted event in your neighborhood. It would fall under the Track Enterprises banner. And Bob, he's the kind of guy who'll have not 3 or 4 races, but I'm talking about 15 or 20 events going on around the country on any given weekend. Like tomorrow, he has a ASA Stars National Tour event going on at the Milwaukee Mile.
Are we going to take turns driving and make it up there for that one?
I don't think we're going to get there in time. It's Father's Day.
I got to stay here and do some more races.
You got to stay here. You got $20 to make.
That's right.
I'm going home.
Uh-oh, they're getting the saw out. They're getting serious.
That's never a good sign.
What they do is they take that great big saw and they'll put a little itty-bitty trench in the middle of the dirt right here.
Burying a cable.
And they'll bury a cable, and that'll be for the timing and scoring. I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe it's a completely different system that we were using yesterday for the amateurs. I'm not sure where that timing loop was.
Well, hopefully it's not the same timing loop that was put in here back in 1948 or whenever when this track first started, right?
I don't know if they had such a thing back then, Ralph, but I wasn't here. Were you here for that one?
No, I wasn't here for that one, no.
Happy Father's Day weekend
Thank you. Same to you, brother, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there watching.
Definitely happy Father's Day, Dad. My dad was trying to make it up here. He likes this racetrack and had just too many things going on, so he stuck at home. So when I got here, had to put his card in the mail. I had a card for him, and he didn't show up, so I found a little bitty mailbox or a little mailbox in the next little town over a couple days ago. Dropped that in the post office. Hopefully it's there by now, because I'm sure he's
well done, son.
He's watching at the moment.
Yeah.
You're going to make it home in time to celebrate tomorrow?
Yes, I am. Yep. It's my day.
Brad Jones brought one of his kids with him.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Bennett is here.
Yeah, we had dinner with Bennett last night. He's sitting outside the truck right now.
I thought he was working earlier, so I'm carrying some stuff back and forth.
He's working on his tan, I think, right now.
Okay.
Smart kid.
Yeah. Well, look at this, a meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Brian Smith to join. Again, they'll take that little saw and bury a line.
I got a plan of getting home, flying out of St. Louis, of course. It's the closest airport to here.
An hour and a half away.
At least.
Depends on if you catch all the lights.
Yes. Planning on getting home and hitting the pool in the backyard and watching some racing. We've got Canadian Grand Prix tomorrow. We got IndyCars at Road America to watch. Of course, NASCAR has the weekend off. NHRA's got the weekend off. Got that ASA race from Milwaukee to tune into. So got a fun-filled day of racing. My day, I get control of the remote, right?
Your day, you definitely get the remote. I get to hold the microphone over
all
at
day.
The half mile all day. So at least tomorrow I'll have a roof over me. Yesterday I was parked inside of 3 and 4 on a scaffolding, and the little Jack Brooks team sent me over an umbrella, so we had one umbrella to kind of hang out underneath, and I was announcing basically just to the teams who were parked inside 3 and 4. That's where the amateurs were pitted. There were some fans in the stands, but they unfortunately couldn't hear anything I was saying, and I couldn't see the finish line, so I was watching their timing and scoring stuff on my phone. So I had to keep my phone plugged in and had some fun.
There you go. Well, you're looking at the Duquoin State Fairgrounds Mile here, and we will be right back for more from here in Duquoin, Illinois, after these words. Stay with us.
Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing champions since 1989. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors. Arai Helmet started racing in America in flat track, and we've been supporting it ever since. Arai, handcrafted with an obsessive dedication to rider protection. For more information, please visit our website, AraiAmericas.com.
Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
This year sees Royal Enfield return for an all-new season of Build, Train, Race, and a big step forward for the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team. For the first time, Royal Enfield steps into the premier class for a full season of AFT racing, this time with a 2-rider team. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs. Light Shoe has been building quality steel shoes for flat track racers since 1998. They serve the flat track community worldwide, building custom hot shoes to fit individual needs with the rider's unique style in mind. With more than 25 years of experience and a 1-year unconditional guarantee, you'll know you've made the right choice when your foot touches the ground going into turn 1. Join the Light Shoe crew. You'll be glad you did.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
For American flat track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet, celebrating America's original extreme sport. The 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at limahalfmile.com.
On Saturday, July 8th, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rolls into Orange County Speedway in Middletown, New York.
Oh, boy, right up the inside. He certainly felt that.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with progressive American flat track. Don't miss the Orange County Half Mile in Middletown, New York. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
The loyal
Riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian. Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
VP Racing Fuels. No matter what motorcycle you race or ride, amateur or pro, we have a fuel to make more power. Keep your bike running cool with VP Stay Frosty Coolant, available in 2 formulas: race ready, designed to be glycol free and track approved, and high performance with freeze protection for street applications. Visit vpracingfuels.com to learn more.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road, check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining, adventure-seeking motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout? A cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda. Riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com. Progressive is proud to be America's #1 motorcycle insurer, protecting 1 out of every 3 insured riders. And they also offer coverage for your boat, RV, and other adventure vehicles. Quote motorcycle insurance online in as little as 3 minutes or bundle your insurance together today.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. If it's for show or for go, ARP makes the highest quality and most dependable fasteners with strength for performance and good looks. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP for maximum clamping force that leads to victory lane. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com, no matter what you drive.
Rev up to get fueled by Mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your flavor. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
And we are back here at the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky, getting ready for the Parts Unlimited AFT Singles presented by Kicker. Their main event, 10 minutes and 2 laps. On Scotty, how about the starting lineup?
On the pole, number 59, Tom Drain. Starting second to 21, his teammate Trevor Bruner. Starting third to 48, Trent Lowe. Last bike on the front row is Maxwell on the 18. Keep an eye on the champ back there. Starting 7th is Cody Kopp, Morgan Mishler, last year's winner. He's also on the second row.
All right, here we go. From our Progressive Skycam to the 10-second board. She's looking for the signal to walk off. There it is. 10-second board is away. See those lights right there over her shoulder? That's what they're all going to be focused on. Clicked into gear. Focused on the lights. Who's going to get the jump? Well, with a good start. How about Drain coming from the outside? Who's going to get there first? Bruner maybe on the 21? No, Whale. The Red Bull KTM. First one into turn number 1.
Estenson Yamaha slides into second and fourth. It's Bruner second. Here comes Gautier in third. That means Tom Drain back there in fourth. Off of turn number 2.
Here comes Bruner and Drain coming right with him. Gautier tries to push Drain a little bit too far to the inside. Bruner will lead him. Drain now up to second, and the monster-backed Estenson Yamaha is running 1 and 2.
They made short work of the competition on that back straightaway. They're going to come off of turn number 4. Here they come in full song.
Can they work together and pull away from everybody? Here comes Drain looking inside. He's going to lead him by the time they get to turn 1. Yes, just in front of his teammate.
By .010 over Trevor Bruner. Maxwell is right there. Gautier has slid up there. He goes back to 4th. Maxwell goes to 3rd.
Back straightaway. Look at Drain starting to pull away. He's got him by a bike length. Kristen with more. Kristen.
Watch out.
And guys, this has been an emotional season for Tom Drain after leaving Australia and leaving a position where he had won so consistently. To go to a class like this where the talent depth is something that is never seen before. He said he had to adjust to not winning. He had to remember that he was as talented as what we saw in Sacramento. So for him, reminding himself that he was capable of a win, taking that win in Sacramento, and now to take that confidence and that momentum and bringing it into the Red Mile, it has been a life-changing 2 to 3 weeks for Tom Drain.
Well, it's about to change a little bit more if he keeps running like he is here tonight, Kristen, because he is starting to inch away from the field.
That's bad news for everybody else. If he breaks the draft, he might be long gone in this one.
Yeah, it was 0.2 of a second last time by, and now let's see what it is. He picked up another 10th. So yes. Drain starting to inch away from his teammate, who's got Whale and Gautier in the Turner Hondas behind them.
Sat off in low 5th and 6th. The 6-way riders. 6 riders have broken away from everybody else. Here comes the freight train.
Coach H in the inside, bringing Sadoff with him. Bruner's going to hang on to second.
They get by Maxwell, though, so Max slides back to fifth.
You know, for Bruner, you got to be thinking, boy, if Drain wasn't here, I'd be looking really good here tonight.
Exactly. He's doing everything. He's doing everything right.
Yeah. Here comes Sadoff. Looking inside. Gets Gauthier. Oh, boy, does he get close to Bruner.
He almost got into the backside of the 21. These guys need to start working together. That 59 is just going to start pulling away.
Might be too late.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've got to try to stay in line as long as they can, but
they keep fanning out 3 wide, and that slows them down a little bit more. Here comes the 21, closing on the leader, but he's still 0.3 of a second behind him. Chase Sadoff in his second pro season is on the move. He's closing in on Tom Drain off of turn number 4.
Sadoff looking up the inside, looking for second, and gets it.
He lost a tenth that time. As they go back into the turns, 1 and 2. Sadoff now, can he do something with Drain?
It's impressive what he's done so far. He's gotten away from Bruner just in through 1 and 2. Yep. Now he's closed in on the leader. Now he can sense the leader. Now he's closed in. Here comes
Here he
Sadoff.
comes, making a run to the inside. No, not going to be there. Drain still got him by a couple of bike lengths down into the corner, but he definitely closed it.
Really closed the gap between himself and the 59 of the bomber, Tom Drain.
I just love how Drain gets down over the bars so fast in the center of the corner. And Bruner now making a run up the inside.
Wow.
And they are within a tenth of a second of Drain. And as good as Whale is running, he's slipped back to 6, but he's been in that front group most of this race so far. His teammate, Cody Kopp, right there with the number 1, all the way back to 9th for the reigning champ.
Yeah, not a night he wanted. He got 10th at Sacramento. He's back there trying to get a top 10 right now and salvage some points. Back to the lead.
And look at this. Drain has slipped to 2nd. While we were looking at Kopp, Drain has lost the lead.
Trent Lowe will lead him to the start-finish line. Here comes the 59 up the inside.
With ease, back to the front. 5.5 minutes and 2 to go. Stay tuned. We're coming right back to the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky. Here comes Drain looking inside. We've seen him make a lot of passes on the outside. This time to the inside. Puts him right back into 2nd behind his teammate Bruner.
He's sitting right there in a perfect spot, you know, not pushing it too hard. He's right there. He can make the pass. It seems like Drain can at any time he wants to on these straightaways. Yes.
Even when you think he's pulled out maybe too soon, as Sadoff comes back inside, Drain will go to 3rd. He's able to get back in line. Trent gives them some room.
Now we have a 6-way battle for the lead. Make that 7 riders to the lead group now.
Here comes Tom. Way to the inside.
Yeah, he really
and right
swung
for
up.
the lead. Nope, I'll slot in at 2nd for now.
Two Turner Hondas back there, 3rd and 4th. They're chasing the 2 Estenson Yamahas.
Inside of 2 minutes and 2 laps to go.
Mishler's making his way towards the front. He's up to 6.
Train inside down the front straightaway. Look how far to the inside he goes.
Way to the inside.
Man, and both of the Turner Hondas get by him. And Lowe goes to the lead.
Man, that was close.
He was almost into the infield. He was so far down there.
Yeah, Tom really swung up to the inside. You're allowed 1 move off the corners on the front onto the straight. Oh,
Bruner! Right up along the wall, and here comes Drain trying to get inside of Sadoff.
That's the first.
Now we're inside of 1.5 minutes and 2 laps to go.
That's the first time we've seen anybody get that close to the back straightaway wall.
I don't think it was intentional.
Definitely not.
All right, now you got to think about positioning because you've got 1 minute and 2 to go. Here comes Bruner. So you got to get yourself, if you're Drain, you got to get back up here and by these top 2 spots. Watch this again. Let's go back and take a look at the replay here as Bruner continues to lead.
Watch the 21, 2nd bike. He swings out wide and just keeps on. He likes looking down. He doesn't really look where he's going. He watches and counts things on the back straightaway. This time he had to look up because he's going up that back straightaway wall.
Inside of 1 minute, 2 to go. Drain back and forth. Bruner in 2nd.
What a big
Turner
group of
Honda's
riders.
1 and 3rd.
9 riders have broken away in this one. Here they come on the front straightaway. They're switching back and forth going into 1.
Yeah, Lowe thinking about it. Sadoff sits in 3rd.
Now we need to see if Trent figured out what he did wrong at Sacramento. I think he swung out too far coming to the finish line, and it cost him. He started breaking his own wind instead of using the draft. Can he do better than that here?
Inside, Sadoff to the lead. 10 seconds and 2 laps to go, so they'll get 2 to go this time by. The clocks will run out.
Remember, the leader has never won an American flat track. Here they come. 2 laps to go this time by.
Oh, we're going to switch it up a little bit. It's going to be Drain to the lead with 2 to go. He went from 4th to 1st and already gaps him by a couple.
Maybe he just...
That gap could be huge here.
Ruffy could be just sitting back there watching.
He could have been. That gap could be so huge. Let's see what he does. Here comes Bruner trying to get a draft on the outside on the 21.
Nice move.
Teammates go bar to bar into 3. And coming off the corner, who's going to have the lead?
That was a great move by the 21.
Bruner's going to have it. And what does Drain do as they come out? Look at how quickly Tom Drain moves to the inside. He gets in that tuck and quickly comes by. He's going to have the lead at the line.
Wow.
No, Trent Lowe is. Drain's going to be stuck in 3rd. White flag is out. This is the final lap. Lowe, Sadoff, Drain, Bruner coming to the backstretch. Now what does Drain do? Keep an eye on the 59. He's sticking him out to the outside, so Sadoff's going to have that inside to move.
They're catching a lap
and there's a lapper in the middle. Now that's going to hinder Drain, but can Drain make the run off of 4 like he's been doing? Here he comes, Lowe on the 48 in the lead. Sadoff is pretty far back. What can Drain do? He might be too far back on the 59. He's trying to come to the line. Trent Lowe is going to win the Red Mile here for the Parts Unlimited AFT Singles presented by Kicker. That lapper got in there and really helped him out a little bit.
I think you're right. I think it just distracted enough people and slowed enough people down that Trent Lowe will win it on the Honda.
I'm not saying the lapper did anything wrong.
No,
he was just in a position where it kept some guys from maybe doing what they had hoped to do in that corner.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Welcome back to Duquoin, Illinois. Bikes are on the racetrack once again. Sorry about that little delay. It is your Parts Unlimited AFT Singles Class sponsored by Kicker. They are on the racetrack right now. For their first round of practice, 2 rounds of practice, we have 32 total singles signed up for today. They'll be split into 2 groups of 16 for the practice groups. And they're on the racetrack right now. First time we've had AFT Singles Class on this particular racetrack. We haven't been here since 2015. And back then it was the GNC 2 class that ran on the mile. Just a couple of these riders have raced here before that are on the racetrack right now. Dalton Gauthier is one of them on that 79 bike. The one is Cody Kopp. 79 is Gauthier. I just mentioned him. 88 Chase Sadoff. 18 Maxwell. 21 Trevor Bruner. I'm going to start calling him Blackjack. 48 Trent Lowe, 59 Tom Drain, 13 Morgan Mishler, 19 James Ott, 49 Chad Coast, 91 Justin Jones, 52 Shayna Texter Bauman, 82 Travis Pett in the 4th, 26 is Aiden Roos, 7's from right here in Southern Illinois, 166 Logan Eisenhard, your Rookie of the Year leader in the 63. That's the Jet, Jared Lowe. I see some smoke back there in one of those bikes. It also looks like it's getting a little bit dusty. Here they come, leaving these 450s wide open. It might have just been a little bit of dust cloud that I possibly saw some smoke though, but look at them all fan out. Look how big and wide the groove is. I think it helps that they had bikes out here yesterday, part of the Mission Foods AMA Flat Track Grand Championships. When the Super Twins were out there, they were running above the groove, which might make for a little bit wider racetrack a little bit later on. And Tom Drain goes to the head of the class, 38.264, 38.264. Sadoff goes to 2nd, Trent Lowe 3rd. As timing scoring is now working, we had to bury a new transponder loop. Something happened to the primary one that was on the racetrack. Here they come, fanning out, trying to go 4 wide, going into 1. It looks like they're going to go 3 wide. The 2 Essence and Yamahas pushing it up the inside. There's one of the KTMs going to the high side. I believe that's Max Whale. The 18 of Maxwell moves up to 3rd on the speed chart. The 1 of Cody Kopp drops down to 7th. Trent Lowe, the most recent winner from Lexington, Kentucky, the Red Mile on the 48 Turner Racing Honda. Trent on the leaderboard. Actually, don't see a time. There he is. He's in 4th now, Trent. As we take a look back, Cody Kopp, he's run out back all by himself, a la Brian Smith. Now he goes way up to the air fence. Man, I'm glad we switched the camera to him. That was a deep push into turn number 1 for the 1 bike. James Ott jumps to 5th on the 19. Good look at the defending champ. Trying to go 2 in a row, just like Dallas Daniels did. And what I noticed this week in the Amateur Nationals, the Flat Track Grand Championships, is a lot of the amateurs have switched on over to KTM. Maybe since the 1 of Cody Kopp did so good last year's kind of opened up the door for some of these other riders to go to the KTM. So I thought the 1 was way at the back. He's actually way, way, way out in front. Drain's fastest lap, 3:8.264. 32 total entries in the singles class. That means they will all make it into 2 heat races a little bit later on. There you can see a little bit of the draft, but not enough to catch him make the pass right there. One of the Estenson Yamahas and one of the Turner Hondas. First round of practice. We are a little behind schedule. We'll try to play catch up throughout the day and the evening. Right, the new transponder loop. Drain is at the top spot, 3:8.264. And now Drain goes even faster, 3:7.911, 37.9 around the Magic Mile. But they're having some fun out there. The leader looks over his shoulder. Also see who's closing in. It's the 59 of Drain. Sat off on the 88. Illinois rider would like to get a win here in his home state. Still looking for his first win as Kopp starts downshifting just a little bit to slow it down. Ralph, we went outside, checked out the racetrack. It looks really good. We had a little bit of a delay. They put a new transponder loop in for us.
They did, and hopefully you'll hear me eventually.
All right, they're pulling off the racetrack. They'll enter and exit the racetrack outside turn number 4. That's your first group of singles riders. Group number 2 is about to pull onto the racetrack here in just a second. Again, they come out according to their point standings, just like they do at every single round. The bad news is for these riders, they have to sit over here in the sunshine. They have to sit over here in that sunshine right now. It gets awful hot when you're sitting in there in those leathers. 51 is Zabala, 75 is Santero, 24 is Hunter Bauer, the 117 Landon Smith, the 216 Declan Bender, 56 Jordan Jean, 155 Olin Kistler, 55 is Raggio, 125 Jacob Cassio, 76 is Wiggin, 14 is Damon Ream, 112 Aiden Brown, the 106 Reese Podorf, 270 is Jess Reynolds, 149 Tragan Birdsong, and the 107 that's Red Wyatt Vaughn.
You know, I thought it was interesting, Scotty. There you go. You can hear me now.
Yes.
Kevin Crowther, who is basically our director of competition, right?
Yes.
For all things with American Flat Track. At our meeting this morning, talked about wanting to have just 2 sessions with the singles today, like we did at the Red Mile. 2 groups.
2 groups, yes.
Which leads to the 2 sessions, right? 2 split groups.
Right.
And he said he felt like that got them up to race speed, if you will, and comfortability with the race environment of having people around you all the time quicker. And I thought that was a very interesting observation and really a great thing for these riders, because certainly many of them are still gaining their race speed and getting their head wrapped around racing on a mile and all that. So the more experience you can give them in that race condition probably is better for them all the way through the field.
And probably more so in this second group, Ralph. I mean, because a lot of these guys don't have hardly any mile experience, if any. I know Sacramento, the day after the Nationals, sometimes they race the mile. They skipped it a few years. Some have experience here on this mile at the amateur national level, but some of them barely have any mile experience at all even when they grow pro.
It's no different than when you talk about like Supercross. It's easy to go practice motocross. There are motocross tracks everywhere. Where do you go learn how to race Supercross? It's a whole different animal.
Correct.
And the same thing when most of these kids grow up racing short tracks and half miles, and to come to a mile is an eye-opening and breathtaking away experience, right?
Well, I think the biggest thing is the draft. I mean, you feel it a little bit on some of the half miles. A good hard-packed clay half mile, you can feel the draft. Here on the mile, it's a whole nother animal. When you catch that draft on the front straightaway or the back straightaway, it feels like you're going about 8 to 10 miles an hour faster, and you can run right into the guy that's right in front of you or even the guy in front of him. So extra seat time is better.
Well, and just being comfortable at that speed and trying to get the world to slow down for you, right?
Yes. And, it's also, like you said, it's a chance for these guys. They're used to going inside somebody and maybe elbowing or putting your elbow up and moving somebody out of the way. You can't hardly do that at this speed. Not at this speed. It's kind of dangerous. Also, it's good, like you said, to have two big groups, but an extra practice session. Sometimes they just get one practice session and two qualifying sessions. So, some of these wheels need to get trued and balanced. The tires, sometimes you might get a tire that's not perfectly balanced. You might have to go back and make changes. You tighten up your headset a little bit, your triple trees, to make it where it's harder to turn. That's less head shake. There's a lot of little tricks like that. The only way to figure that out is by
experience.
By being seat time out there on the racetrack. Tom Drain still at the top spot. He's the fastest one. He was in that first group. In this group, it looks like the 75 of Santero may be the fastest. Now the 24 Hunter Bauer, he's the fastest on the racetrack. The 24 bike is up to 8th. And as I say that, we're taking a look back. Yeah, he's the fastest one on the track. Santero on the 75 is 11th right now. So, again, these guys are probably more comfortable on the groove than the Super Twins riders, and maybe the Super Twins riders all said, hey, let's go out there and try to make that groove even wider, so that's why they were going out there above the groove. Also, there's probably more moisture above the groove, because when that groove and that track is so hard, the moisture will run right off of it easier, so it might have soaked into the loose dirt above the groove. Landon Smith, that Smith kid, is out front right now, the 117. He's currently 13th quickest, and he's got Santero, Raggio, and there's the 24 of Hunter Bauer pulling the draft right here on the front straightaway as the checkered flag is out just as they go across that start-finish line. Big P pulled that checkered flag out. Again, for you folks just joining us, this is our first round of practice. That was your second group of singles riders, and they stay up to kind of full song down that back straightaway. They'll start letting off right about here going into 3 so they can start get woed down before they go into that corner.
We have something on the track there?
Yeah, something else may have fallen off another motorcycle. We did see an exhaust system fell off of a Super Twins bike. I think it was Billy Ross's bike earlier in that first session of Super Twins. And, again, the vibration, you're going so fast, things just happen. And unfortunately, it's part of it. And that's why we have practice. That's another reason for practice. Here we go. Watch the replay. Something was on the track. We've heard.
His hand up.
No, I think they're just putting their hand up because they already hit the checkered flag, and they're just telling everybody they're slowing down. So we thought there might have been something on the track, but they're just trying to get slowed down. And they teach you that as a youngster when you're just coming up. A lot of these are second, third generation racers, and when you let off that throttle, on that back straightaway, you want everybody to know that you're slowing down. There's no brake lights. So here comes the Super Twins rolling onto the racetrack. This is their second round of practice. 32, Dallas Daniels will lead him out. The 1 is Jared Meese. 95, J.D. Beach. The 3 is Briar Bauman. 67, Davis Fisher. 44 is Brandon Robinson. They're going to come out and get a little practice start. The 20 is Jared Vandekoy. 37, Bronson Bauman. He's also on the KTM. 36, Colby Carlisle. 25, Ben Lau. 62 is Dan Bromley. So they're from all over the place. This is their practice start time right here. Big P, our flagman, will pull up to the line. All right, he's going to stop them right here. They're going to get a little practice start. I think that's a good thing to do as well. We've been talking about that throughout the season, but we used to not give them a practice start, so this is a good chance to get one practice start. Me says, I'm going to lead you guys into that first corner. Briar is right there. J.D. Beach is there as well. 21 total entries here in the Super Twins class. Lap 1 going in the books here. They come off of turn number 4 onto that front straightaway. Looks like Meese and Briar are going to work on a little bit of strategy right here, possibly. They both go way up the racetrack above the groove. It's a little bit looser up there. You can let it all hang out. Here they come onto the back straightaway. Meese with the advantage on the Indian. Breyer's right there on the KTM. There's JD Beach and Davis Fisher right behind.
For those of us that have never gone 140 miles an hour down the back straightaway here and sat up going into turn 3, what is the sensation like when you sit up?
It's almost like a parachute opens. I mean, it's not quite that drastic, but you set up and it feels like it's pulling the handlebars out of your hands. I mean, it pulls you back like you're like something's grabbing the back of you, like a parachute almost. That's the best way to describe it. And it just slows you down, you know. So you want to sit up kind of gradually if you want to slowly let off, kind of. If you want to really, you know, burst and really let off, you really set up straight up.
Do you come straight up or do you kind of roll yourself up over the bars?
Again, it just depends on the situation. If you want to go deeper in the corner, just kind of slowly set up and push yourself, you know, into that corner. But if you want to try to slow down quickly, set straight up immediately, like something. If you're catching the guy right in front of you, set up quickly as quick as you can.
But you better have your hands hanging on, right?
Yeah.
It's like riding a wave runner or a jet ski. When you lift off the throttle,
right,
you got to be prepared for that thing to slow down.
To react, exactly. And as a taller rider, I was one of the taller guys, you know, when I was racing at 6'2" and a big upper torso. You know, if you really need to slow down, set up quick. And like you said, you better be hanging on. And, you know, some of these guys, actually most of these guys and gals will let off with their left hand and you know, tuck it in. You can see Meese letting go of the handlebars. There's Daniels letting go of the handlebars. So you got to grab the handlebars about the same time you're setting up. So it's like poetry in motion, Ralph. You have to do it all at the same time. This
got to be in sync.
Yes.
Both movements. Yes. Jared's kind of not running away from him this time, is he?
And maybe he's not doing that on purpose. You know, maybe he doesn't want to show anything too soon. Maybe he's saving some stuff. He's back there in 7th right now with the 3:7.646. Of course, we didn't have any times in that first session. Bronson goes to the top spot on the Fast Track Racing KTM at 3:7.214. Daniels right there second quick on the Yamaha. Now Meese is showing his hand, 3:7.139. So all it took was Brad Jones to say, hey, Meese doesn't look very good. And boom, there you go. Jared Meese goes to the top spot. 3:7.139, just like we knew what we were talking about, Ralph. It was the other end of the truck, though.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Of course. Bronson Bauman second. 3:7.196. They're pretty close. Daniels 3:7.278. The one thing that's going to happen today is we're going to have a first-time winner in this class. Nobody here in this class has won on this racetrack. Meese wants it really bad. 36.965. Meese is dropping the hammer. It's time to go. Meese was barely edged to the line last time we were here back in 2015 by Brian Smith. Bullet Brad Baker was up there in the mix of that thing there for a while too before he had a little mechanical issue. Bronson's still sitting third. Breyer goes into second now on the 3. Parks plus Jacob Company's KTM. Could be the first time we see a KTM twin win in Grand National history as well. Daniels to the top spot, 3:6.856. Breyer goes down to second. Robinson coming up there up to the 4th position now. He's got himself a new mustache. He's going to leave it on until he wins, he said.
It's kind of like the hockey guys with the hockey beards, right? In the
I don't
playoffs.
know about all that stuff. I hope Ashley likes it.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be pressure to get rid of it, you know?
Hurry up and win so you can shave that thing off.
Yeah, hurry up. What are you doing back here? Daniels at the top spot here in our second round of practice. There's a whole nother group of Super Twins. There's 21 total riders. They'll be into 2 qualifying heat races. The better you qualify, the better starting spot you'll have in those heats. And again, $500 to your Parts Plus Pronto Pole Award winner.
There you go. You ever run a mustache or a beard?
I can't do it. I'm not old enough yet, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a patchy. It's kind of a patch here and a patch there. Yeah. You know, I'm from Oklahoma, you know.
Yeah. No, I've never done it. My dad used to have a mustache, but
yeah, my dad did too.
Yeah.
They all thought it was cool. I don't know.
I'm not so sure Kimberly would be all for it.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Michelle would like mine either. Group number 2 rolls on to the racetrack right now. 61 Casey Cisco will lead him out on the Harley-Davidson. 109 is Billy Ross. That's who lost the exhaust earlier. 223 Jeffrey Lowry. 34 Cameron Smith. 60s Nick Armstrong. 92 Brandon Price out here on Harley-Davidson XG 750. 99 Kevin Stallings. 96 Cody Johncock. 77 that's Jordan Harris, the coal miner. And the 28 Gary Ketchum, who's from Oklahoma. He's out there from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I see she blew us off this week, huh?
Who's that? Michelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to save it and come to Lima.
All right.
Yep.
I thought maybe you scared her off already.
Oh, not yet.
It's
still early.
Well, we'll see.
She said she might be done with me by October. So
October?
Yeah.
Near the end of the race season?
I guess. We'll see.
I used to kid my wife all the time and tell her she only dated me for race tickets, which
that's fantastic.
Needless to say, was not the truth.
That is great.
But she thought it was pretty funny.
How long have you been married?
21 years.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
My grandparents just celebrated 75 on
God
June 1st.
bless them. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I have an aunt and
I
uncle.
told them you're not supposed to get married when you're 10. But
I have an aunt and uncle the same way. That is truly an incredible accomplishment.
yeah,
And
it's incredible.
it is.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be anywhere near me for a year. How much? much
Yeah,
less
I can
75.
attest to that.
Here we are.
How many weekends have we got to get through?
18. Except for the doubleheaders, so 16.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're going to overseas once, so 15.
15 I got to get through.
But who's counting? Who's counting?
Not that I'm checking them off on the calendar or anything.
Oh,
no, I
my
love you,
goodness.
brother.
I love
Wouldn't
you too,
do it
man.
without you.
So much fun we have. And they pay us for this. Yeah, we are having fun. With the Magic Mile, we could be working somewhere else.
Yeah.
Group 2 is on
Well,
the
no, I don't know
racetrack.
about. Not sure anybody else would have us.
There you go. Practice group number 2, Mission Super Twin, sponsored by S&S Cycle. Looks like these guys are kind of spread out just a little bit. I think I would try to find somebody to work with. You know, if I'm out there, Ralph, looking, you try to find somebody about the same speed as you and try to work together because 2 bikes go
That'd be hard
faster
for
than
me to
one.
find, and not because they're not fast enough. I wouldn't be fast. They'd all be zipping right past me.
You could go down there right now and get a raffle ticket from Back on Track to win the
Yamaha.
The PW50.
Man.
PW50.
Oh, you're giving me the 50.
I'll give you the PW50.
I
can take that.
I
home
couldn't
tonight.
handle the 450.
Well, gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. No, you're smart about it.
Yeah. So the 450, they're raffling that off next weekend at Lima. But the PW50, they just got it from Yamaha Motor Corp, and they're going to raffle that off today. They'll give
That's
that
pretty
away
cool.
today. So get your raffle tickets. I know Ronnie Jones's daughter is out there, and so is Jackie Mitchell's daughter's out there walking around. They also have a booth set up. And grab your raffle tickets. Somebody's going to take them a brand new PW50. It is brand new.
You know, the last time I was here calling a race from here is with CBS Sports, and Ronnie Jones was my Scotty Dubler.
Your color commentator?
Yeah.
Yep. Dr. Jones.
Yeah, I can't get away from you, Oklahoma guys. You, Jones, Shane Carson.
Yep, all of us.
Guys are everywhere.
Yep, we are.
There's only 3 of you, but you're everywhere.
You know, for a guy,
It's funny.
Shane Carson isn't even in racing very much anymore, but he is at every race that I go to.
Shane is literally everywhere.
He was at the Hall of Fame induction.
Well,
I'm
he
sure.
is a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I'm sure
he's not
was
missing
there.
out. Yeah,
He's always at the Chili
he's
Bowl.
always there. He's always at Chili Bowl. He's always at
Eldora.
Daytona.
Eldora.
He's always at Eldora. He's always at Indianapolis. Knoxville. He's everywhere.
I want his job.
Yeah, there's not. It's just the title is just Shane.
It's just Shane Carson.
What's your job? I'm Shane.
$12 sign.
Yeah.
That's how I remember him.
Yeah.
A
He was
unique
a
number.
heck of a racer.
Dude, when he was racing, his forearms were bigger than my calves.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well, back then you didn't have power steering,
No.
you know. You had
It's
to
like
just,
Steve Kinzer.
Yeah.
Same thing.
you had to just manhandle those sprint cars.
No neck and big arms.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because of the G-forces that are
Right,
there.
you gotta
I mean,
hang
you had
up,
to have that
hang-
super strong.
That was before the Hans device and
Everything.
and they strapped their helmet
I
down.
watched Kinzer go head on into the wall one year at the end of turn 1 at Eldora and just shorten the car up from one end to the. I mean, just scrunched it together, right?
Yep.
Unload the backup, come back out the next night and win.
Of course.
I mean, everybody else would have been in traction for 3 years, right?
Well, yeah.
He just unbuckles,
Or
crawls,
retire.
or retired.
Yeah.
He just unbuckles, crawled out, and got in the next one, and off he went. Unbelievable, that guy.
He's an amazing talent.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's it for your Super Twins. Second round of practice. 32 Dallas Daniels quickest so far, 3:06.856. The next time they will come out, it'll be qualifying action for them. So we'll shift gears back again to the Parts Unlimited AFT Singles Class, sponsored by Kicker. Again, we had a little delay while we put a new timing and scoring line in. The next group is already ready to roll onto the racetrack. Parts Limited AFT Singles. The fastest lap in first round of practice was Tom Drain, which is bad news for everybody else. The little guy is super fast on the miles. He's a road racing champion down in Australia, so that's why he likes going fast, and it doesn't help or doesn't hurt that he's only 104 pounds.
Oh, gosh, no. No.
I haven't been 104 pounds since, what, junior high?
Junior high? Who you lying to, son? Let's be honest here.
I was a little guy, you know.
Junior high, if you were 6 in junior high, then yeah, maybe.
No, I was a little guy.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah, I was very little until...
When did you hit this?
About my senior year in high school. I was still growing when I got out of high school.
Really?
Yep, I don't know what happened.
I'm still growing, too, just in the wrong direction right now.
Just belt size?
Yeah.
Yeah. First group, Parts Limited Singles rolls onto the racetrack. Ralph Shaheen, Scotty Dilper here in the booth. We'll hear from Kristen Beat in just a little while. The one is Cody Kopp, 79 Dalton Gautier, 88 Chase Sadoff, 18 Maxwell, 21 Trevor Bruner, 48 Trent Lowe, 59 Tom Train, 13 Morgan Mishler, 19 James Ott. His teammate, the 49 Chad Coast, 91 Justin Jones, 52 Shayna Texter Bauman, 82 Travis Pettin, 26 Aiden Roos Evans, 166 your Mobile View Rookie of the Year leader. That's Logan Eisenhard, and the 63, that's the Jet, Jared Lowe. Here they go, the two KTMs out in front.
See how long they stay there or what they do, right?
They might have a plan. Let's go get out front. Let's
see
work
what
together. They're both very tall riders, which is a little bit of a downfall, especially on these miles.
They got an Estenson Yamaha right on their no, it's one of the Husqvarnas.
That is Ott looking up the inside. James Ott still looking for his first win in the singles class. He's getting closer. He got a third. What's hard, Ralph, is he got a third his very first time out at the Texas Half Mile a few years ago, so he's trying to replicate that. Now
you're like, oh, I can do this.
Yeah, now he's got himself a ride with the First Impressions race team. He's looking really strong this year.
Right to the front.
And drops to the bottom of the racetrack. And you can see the size difference right there, how short he is. It's definitely a benefit on these big mile racetracks. It's harder for those tall guys to get tucked in. Look at this big group of riders. I thought they'd spread out, not in this class.
No.
This is a little preview.
It's like a race.
Yeah,
this is a full-on national right here.
Preview what we're going to see in just a little bit. Again, 16 riders out there in this group. There'll be 16 in the second group as well. Just a handful of these riders.
I like this idea. I really like this idea Kevin had of putting the two groups out there like this.
They'll go 4 wide across the finish line.
Yeah. I think this is a good idea. I think it's going to just make the racing even better because these guys are doing it right here, right now, exactly the way they're going to go later tonight.
And Ralph, with them pushing it like that and going in the corner deeper together, it's going to make that groove even wider. I'm sure they're going to do some track maintenance a little bit later on when practice and qualifying is done. But right now, they're putting more and more rubber down onto the racetrack. Bruner with a 38.006 now, quickest on the racetrack. The track's slowing down just a little bit, 38.006, but he's in a lot of traffic as well. So here they come. Bruner to the top spot. Here comes Ott. The 19 was fast, but he is not that far up on the speed charts. Actually, he's back there in 8th.
Well, that scoring pylon is on the left side of the screen there. Changes like crazy every time they go across the line, doesn't it? Is everybody making moves?
And it kind of depends on who you're drafting with, who you're working with, and if you can pass somebody, coming across the finish line will definitely help, because it gives you a little bit of a boost, kind of, using that draft, and it does, like you said, it's changing every time.
Looks like a slot machine how it spins and then it lands.
Yamaha, Honda, Husqvarna, then a bunch of 3 KTMs so far.
Here it comes again. Let's see if we can hit all 7s.
Ting, cling, 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 cling. Yeah. Maxwell goes up. Now Trent Lowe goes up. Look at it. Man, that was like it got stuck. Shayna Texter Bauman jumps up to second on the 52 bike. Here she comes.
The winningest rider in the history of this category.
52, Shayna Texter Bauman. This should be a good track for her. Long straights.
Well, she could really bust through here this weekend, couldn't she? That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That would be awesome. She's right at the back of the pack. She's using the big pocket of air that'll be in front of them. There she is, right behind the 63 of Jared Lowe. Jared Lowe started out in front with the lead group, and now he's slipped back. Now here comes Shayna. She'll use the draft pass. Here she comes up to the line. We'll see if she goes any faster. Sat up to the top spot, 37.508 now.
She's 6th.
Yep, she's getting up there. And again, the faster and more she moves up, the faster that the riders are in front of her, they'll pull her down these long straightaways. Drain into turn number 3. There's a look back at a couple of the other riders. There goes Chad Coast on the 49. Now maybe she can catch up to the backside of the 49. Might have a good lap right here. Mishler slips up a little bit wide down here in 3 and 4, getting on the edge of the groove. Not what you want to do on these 450s. Checkered flag is out. Here they come, fanning out to the finish line. Maxwell to the top spot, 3:7.364. That is blistering fast. 3:7.3. Now it's a half a second faster than they were in that first round of practice.
Yeah, he's going
Max
for another
is
one.
flying. Yeah, he's still a full song right now. He'll back off right here, get slowed down before he goes to the pits. You know, back in the day, before they had all the computerized stuff, and you're trying to work on your jetting and your gearing, you'd take it down the back straightaway as fast as you could go.
Chop it off.
Pull in the clutch and hit the kill button,
Yeah.
and then coast all the way around so you get a good plug reading.
Yeah, the road race.
Yeah, the road race style, exactly. So now with these computers, you don't even have to do that anymore.
Stock car racers would do that at places like Daytona and Talladega. When you're, especially on those big speedways. They do it on the short tracks too, but certainly on the big speedways.
Yeah, definitely on the miles. You want that gearing and the jetting to be just right. You don't want to be too lean, you blow it up. You don't want to be too fat. You won't be able to burn off all the fuel. You got to get it dialed in. So here's a look at your practice round number 2 so far with one more group to go. Maxwell on the KTM, James Lott on the Husky. A couple of the Turner Hondas 3rd and 4th, 88-48. Tom Drain, he's a mile rider back there in 5th. His little brother won 2 classes yesterday in the amateur mile. Zabala 6, Cody Kopp 7, Shane Texter Bauman drops to 8th. I think you should get up there and get some better people to draft with. I think that will help pull her towards the front. So I don't think we've seen the last of her just yet. Again, this is just our 2nd round of practice. There'll be 2 rounds of qualifying as well. Hope everybody's enjoying the day. Father's Day weekend here at Duquoin, Illinois, the Magic Mile.
What do you, how are you going to treat yourself? I mean, obviously, for you getting to call the races tomorrow is a treat. I know it's a long day, but it's a treat.
Yeah,
so what else are you going to do to celebrate?
Well, right next to our hotel, there's a Culver's ice cream.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to.
That's tomorrow night, not tonight?
Well, I don't think we'll get there in time tonight.
No, you've already checked?
Well, no, I haven't, but I don't know where we're going when we get down here tonight. Depends on what time we get out of here. But, yeah, definitely ice cream is on the agenda for tomorrow for Father's Day.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. What about you? You're going to watching all the racing?
I'm going to watch all the racing in and out of the pool.
Yeah.
You know, so we built a very nice outdoor patio living space deal, and pool's there and it's covered. You got the fans, you know, and big screen TV out there, so I can go from the pool to the outdoor couch watching the races.
Will the dogs go in the pool with you?
Oh yeah, Deuce and
really?
Evie. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And
that's
then,
perfect.
I take a couple of good racing magazines out there with me and do some reading while I'm watching, studying up always, you know.
Right.
Staying on top of what's going on out there.
Watching the phone, watching the
nice,
TV.
Nice, relaxing day. Yeah, I'm sure. Texting with buddies. I'll be bothering you. Hey, what race number are you on now?
Exactly.
I'm on my 3rd cold one. You know.
Aiden Brown right there, those purple rims, looking sporty on the number 12 bike. He's still looking for his first main event. He wanted to do it at the Red Mile because he's actually the only rider that was born in Kentucky that was trying to make the Red Mile, but he missed it by just a couple of spots. But he's still looking for his first main.
Best sunset of the year by far.
Oh, man, it was awesome. It was very pretty yesterday, too, but it kind of went we were doing the awards yesterday, and you could look right at it, and then all of a sudden it was gone. So it wasn't as pretty as we had. I saw a lot of cool pictures from Lexington.
It was beautiful.
Like Lady Lassen on the front straightaway had some of the riders sitting there on the starting line, the sun setting right behind them. That was so cool.
It was beautiful.
Yep. I like going to the Red Mile. I like that it's on the circuit.
It's becoming one of the stops that everybody talks about.
Yeah.
That it's a great racetrack, beautiful setting, good fans, and a great time. And I think everybody looks forward to going there, right?
I think we're both in agreement too that not having it as a double header. I know we like better. More racing, but there's such a big day on Memorial Day weekend that Sunday is so hard to go up against, you know, Monaco, Indy, and the Charlotte Coke 600. It's better just to have a one day.
Yeah. Or pick a different weekend.
It's hard to go on Friday nights too. I mean, some people are just getting off work, and by the time they get off work, it's hard to get to the racetrack.
100%.
So, yeah, I liked it was a one night show there at the Red Mile.
I vote for a weekend either way. Just move it one weekend either way.
Four riders breaking away here in this group. I see the 75 Terran Santero. Right behind him is the 24 Hunter Bauer. Here comes, looks like Damon Ream up there on that 14 bike.
So you can put any mile on the schedule that's not currently on the schedule.
Ooh.
Currently existing or no longer exists, even on the planet, which one would it be?
You know, that doesn't exist anymore?
It could. I mean, in other words, you could put Syracuse, you could put San Jose. They don't exist anymore.
Right.
Indianapolis is still there.
Yeah, I like the Indy Mile.
Arizona has a mile.
Not a fan of that one. Del Mar.
Del Mar?
Del Mar is a possible. I mean, it's a cush track. You know, when that cush brushes off, it still makes for really good racing. The setting there is kind of like Ventura, you know, the ocean right behind the grandstand. So that was always a fun one for me. I think I ran a 5th there one year on the Super Tracker class, and I had to come through the last chance qualifier or something like that. I was running near the front, and I hit a rut with my left foot, and it kicked back and kicked my chain off. So,
oh man!
So I had to work the hard way to get there. But you know, this one's probably one of my favorite miles, just because it's different. You know, Springfield is so fast.
No, I know, but we're talking about one that's not currently on the schedule.
Right.
Which one would you want?
Man.
We're bench racing here.
You know what? I never raced San Jose, so I would love to see that and experience San Jose. But I definitely like, you know, I like going out to Del Mar. I like going out to California.
I think from the working standpoint, you know, of traveling in, having to be in the hotels, and you know, the quality of life around said venue, if you will.
Yep.
Del Mar would be the one, but from the pure racing part of it, it would have to be San Jose.
Yeah.
With Indianapolis being number 2.
Yeah, the road tax that I bought, that I started racing on, last race, the San Jose Mile, was the last race it was on before I bought it. And so we had the settings and everything, and looked at it. Had the big boom box, because you had a noise ordinance there in San Jose, so I had a boom box on the end of the tailpipe, and we still have that in our collection. I won't probably never ever use it, but you know, it's just the different things from the different tracks throughout history, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I agree, San Jose would be fun. I would love to, you know, go back to Del Mar, just being in San Diego, that area.
Yeah, right.
The ocean is right there.
Kristen would love to go back since she's from there.
Can't count out the Indy Mile. You know, Indy Mile back in the day.
That was
the Grand Slam.
Yeah, Nikki Hayden.
Yep, Nikki Hayden almost got the full Grand Slam there. If he would have won that mile, that would have been awesome. Jeff Weil with Rye Helmets just texted Indy Mile all day long. Indy 500 weekend would be kind of cool. That would be pretty neat.
You know, we used to do it on MotoGP weekend, and I know Jeff
fun.
remembers that, because we used to all hang out together in the inside of Turn 1.
Right.
And yeah.
Valentino Rossi came over that day, and Kenny Roberts rode the TZ.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I was
absolutely never forget.
I was actually the trackside announcer at that time. That was before they switched me to play-by-play, and I was mobbed by people when Kenny went out there. I got to interview him. Rossi standing right behind me, got to interview him, and it was just a mob on the front straightaway. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was calling MotoGP that weekend over at the big track, and we all went out there and standing there talking with Kenny, of course, seeing you out there, and everybody else, Nikki and Valet. And I remember they wanted Valentino to go out and ride, and he was going to ride the TZ
until
he saw Kenny ride the TZ.
Yep.
And then he quickly waved off and said, No, all good.
Well, they had number plates for him and everything that were just going to mount on there, so it was pretty cool. But
and Valet's a good flat track racer, right?
But,
I mean, obviously he's got the ranch and everything in Italy.
But you know, you can't risk it when you're going for a MotoGP championship and one little thing, you know. Yeah. He's retired now. Maybe we should get him over here.
Well, he's retired from motorcycle racing, but he's racing full time in cars.
All right.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of touring series racing over in Europe.
I still think we need to bring him over.
Racing for BMW.
Come on over.
Probably wouldn't take much. All right, well, there's a good look at the grandstand. You can see some of the fans are making their way in on a warm Saturday afternoon here in Illinois. Track prep going on. We'll be back. Progressive American Flat Track Championship season.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at klotzlube.com. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track.
Scotty, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for the Mission Super Twins main event.
On the pole, it's the 4-time Red Mile winner. It's the number 1 of Jared Meese. Starting second, Briar Bauman on the 3. Third bike on the front row is the 44 Brandon Robinson. The 32 of Dallas Daniels will start 4th. Row number 2 is the 36 of Kobe Carlisle. The 67 Davis Fisher. The 20 Jared Vandekoy. And the 95 JD Beach.
Kristen, getting ready this one to get underway. How about a pre-race report before we go green?
Yeah, and Ralph, you mentioned those adjustments for Briar Bauman on the Rick Ware Racing KTM Duke. He has made impressive strides with this bike. However, he has also struggled with false neutrals that plagued his effort in Sacramento. Now, when I spoke with him, he said the linkage on the KTM is way different than an Indian, the bike that he's ridden for the last few seasons. He said at Sacramento, the linkage didn't have enough throw to engage, which caused those issues. Here, they brought all the spare parts they needed to play with that adjustment and find a good setting for him. Since correcting that issue, Briar has raced with so much confidence, guys, and he told me yesterday that he is so optimistic coming into this Red Mile, and he should be. He's been absolutely dominant today, guys.
At these speeds, you can't be second-guessing anything. All right, here we go. Lexington, Kentucky, the Red Mile. 14 minutes and 2 laps to decide the winner here. The second mile event of the 2023 Progressive American Flat Track Championship season. Daniels, Robinson, Bauman, and Meese on that front row, inside to outside. Who's going to get the start? Daniels with a great jump on the Estenson Yamaha. Will he be first to the corner? Yes. And Meese moves right to second. Bronson Bauman way to the outside up in the loose stuff. Daniels leads him off at 2 and down the back straightaway. How quickly can Meese catch him?
Yeah, Vandekoy from the second row up to 3rd. He's right in front of Robinson. Here comes Carlisle in 5th.
Coming into the race, everybody thought these two would be the ones to battle for the win. Where is Briar Bauman? He's
about
all
7th.
the way back to about 7th.
6th or 7th right now. Here he comes. He's got to work his way. There were some bikes made contact getting into that first corner. He might have been one of those.
Let's see. At the line, it shows him in 6th. He's got some work to do on that KTM.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of traffic between himself and those 2 leaders. The good thing is it's not the one bike out in front who's been pulling away every race. Right now it's the 32. And there goes the 32 up the inside, the one going around the outside. Meese to the lead.
Yep, Jared Meese right where he wants to be, out front and leading.
That's bad news for everybody else.
Colby Carlisle to 3rd.
Vandekoy slips back 1 spot. Colby Carlisle takes over 3rd. Here comes Robinson up there as well.
At the line, let's see if Bauman has picked up any spots. And Briar holds in 6th.
That's okay. Just don't let those leaders break away. And Dallas is doing an excellent job right now, keeping the one bike right there in his sights. Now he's going to try to make the draft pass down the back straightaway. He pulls out, goes up the inside.
Daniels trying to show Meese, I've got the speed to run with you all night.
And that was pretty impressive, Ralph. He did that coming off the turn very early, like his teammates in the singles class were doing, and using that horsepower in the drive down the long straightaways.
Kristen, what can you tell me about the rider on that 32, Dallas Daniels, as Meese retakes the lead?
Guys, Dallas Daniels has made 5 starts in the premier class. Of those 5 starts on the miles, he's won 3. So just to add some perspective, only 25 riders in the history of the Grand National Series has ever never won more than 3 miles in their career. Dallas Daniels could do so in his second season. Looking at his opportunity here tonight, that is pretty special.
That is spectacular.
He is a very special rider.
He is that.
He is right there on the back tire of the leader, not letting him sneak away. Look at Carlisle out there on the 36. That production-based motorcycle up there keeping up with these, the factory, sponsored Indian.
And Breyer is up to 5th, so he's gained a spot.
Got by Robinson.
Yeah, he's got to pick his way past these next 2 and then try to get this draft going with the top 2.
And one at a time. He just needs to focus on the one rider at a time and also try not to let these leaders sneak away.
Look at Daniels reeling him in here. Look at this. Here comes the Yamaha. Inside.
Lets off a little bit early. That's all right. He thought about it. He says, it's too early to make that happen right now. You don't want to start that war. You don't want to go in there and not, push him out of the way. That's not how you're going to win races in the long term.
Dallas has talked about in the past where he had said, you know what? I showed my cards too early to Jared, and maybe he's thinking about that here tonight.
You are correct. Right there, Ralph. That was the key right there. Don't show the cards.
He learned what he needed to know there, and he just didn't play the full hand.
Right. If that would have been the last lap, maybe he would have stuck it in there. Exactly. But maybe he doesn't want to lead off of turn number 4 either. Maybe he's just checking things out right now.
Bauman's got another one. He's up to 4th, and he's going for 3rd. And it looks like he might have gotten it, too.
Yep.
Yes.
Just a glance
Breyer
back
is up to 3rd. Here comes a Rick Ware Racing Parts Plus number 3 KTM.
And now can he work together with those guys right behind him and try to track down the leaders as the top 2 is split as Daniels goes to the lead?
All right. So Jared, maybe, I don't think Jared would have let him by necessarily on purpose, but you're not going to fight too hard too early, right?
Dallas has the fastest lap of the race so far at the 3:6.164, but now he's got to put him in consistently. He's got to see if he can hold off the 1. The 1 right now has the ability to be in the draft. The 32, he's not drafting with anybody.
No.
One bike goes off the groove. That might be Carlisle.
Yeah.
I think so. Carlisle's going to lose.
Here comes Jared
everything
inside. That Kenny Tolbert tuned machine back to the front. There's Breyer. That was Colby Carlisle that went too wide.
Dropped
all the way to 8th.
Yep.
Stay tuned. We're coming right back to the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky. It's been a great race so far here in Lexington in 2023. Let's show you how close it was in 2022. Started to think he made that move too late, too, Scotty.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. Meese was flying, and Dallas did pull off the win right there at the very last second. This is the battle for 3rd. Breyer Bauman on the 3s in that 3rd spot. Davis Fisher's 4th, and here comes 5th, the 95 of J.D. Beach. You can see the brake glowing red on the 67 bike right there. There's a good shot of it coming off of turn number 2. There's not much room right there.
Outside.
Man, he was trying to sneak through the outside. Maybe trying something different. The Rackley Racing Indian takes a look over his shoulder, wants to see who's coming.
Davis seems to get that brake rotor glowing quite often.
Yeah, and that's a trick that Kenny Coolbeth used to use. Jake Johnson used to use that.
Looked like Daniel's going for the lead there too, just out of and he took the lead away.
Yeah, Dallas Daniels goes back out front. But yeah, I think that's just a tool that maybe some of these guys are starting to use that a few guys used in the past. The previous generation or whatever used that before. Again, it plants your suspension into the corners when you're on the brake and you leave the brake on just a little bit, and it actually will help the wheel spin coming off the corners as Dallas had to let up, set up, downshift that motorcycle. Now he's going to grab a gear right about here. He puts his foot up, grabs a gear, and gets back in line behind the 3. They're losing touch with the leaders, though.
They are.
Here comes J.D. Beach getting in the thick of things. Daniels out front, Meese in 2nd. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, the best battle on the racetrack.
Back to the fight for the lead at the front. Dallas Daniels with the same gap between him and Meese that Meese had over him not that long ago. Let's see how long it takes Meese to close back in here on the Yamaha.
Last year, I don't think he could have reeled him in like that. Meese they've got that bike dialed in right now. That number 1 Indian is so fast.
Jared talked a lot about the suspension, folks, working with him to get this bike, to get the power that Kenny Tolbert's coaxing out of that Indian power plant to the ground. And that Olean suspension is working.
Yeah, and Jimmy Woods helping out down there, and they make that thing, it's planted in the corners. Another bike pulls off on the back straightaway. It looked like the 33, possibly of Janish, done for the night.
Jared's right there again. 2 minutes, 40 seconds, and 2 laps. All right, play time is over. Now we start thinking pretty seriously about where we want to be on the racetrack and when we want to be there.
You'll start trying things right now as Cody Johncox pulls out of the way, lets the 2 leaders go by. He goes down a lap, so they've lapped up to 15th now. Daniels in the lead. Jared Meese in second by .084.
JD Beach gets around Davis Fisher, moves himself to 4th. So there's a fight on for the final step on the podium here tonight.
Watch Meese
here
down the back straightaway.
Look at the Indian closing in, and then he backs off just before he got to 3.
I think he's just testing the waters. He could have went around him right there if he wanted to. Now
look how good he gets through the corner there. You can see, even though he let off going into 3, he gained more ground through the middle of 3 and 4.
But what's important is if he can make the drag pass right here, and he stays in line, maybe lets off a little bit, maybe doesn't want to make the pass just yet. 1:44 remaining, plus 2 laps.
So if you're Meese, you make the move going into 3, or do you wait for the exit and the run off of 4?
So far, he's had trouble, making the pass off of turn number 4. Maybe he's going to have to make the pass going into 3 and really rail it through turns 3 and 4 and try to lead Dallas off the turn number 4.
I think if I'm Meese, I'm thinking the same way you just said. He's got to feel so good about the confidence of that Indian through the corners. He wants to run it down in there, take the lead, and then rip it through 3 and 4.
I think if he wants to make this pass right here, he's going to have to start practicing it right now. And he gets back and he stays in line instead of.
I think Dallas is too good off of 4. He's like Drain. He gets in that tuck early. He seems to get a lot of power off of 4. I think Jared has to get him going into 3 and use that suspension to his advantage.
And the long straightaways are benefiting, I think, that Yamaha a little bit more than the Indian. I mean, the Indian can track him down, but hasn't made the pass. We go back to the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Look at this one.
We're inside of 1 minute and 2 to go. So whatever we think is going to happen, we're about to find out what these 2 are going to make happen. Meaning Meese and Daniels.
It's the best battle on the racetrack here. They come off of 4 onto the front straightaway. The 3 and the 95 going at it for 3rd. JD Beach is caught all the way up to the 4th position. He was deep in the field earlier. Slowly picking him off. He's from Philpott, Kentucky.
Looks like they're going to have to go around again before the clocks go to 0. It's going to be close.
Breyer's right here, still holding 3rd. JD right there in 4th, trying to get a podium. Davis Fisher on rails on the 67 bike. Here they come.
Oh, they're going to get the 2 to go this time by. There it is.
That was really close.
Sure was.
Clock has expired.
I doubt Jared makes a move on this lap.
Well, he might. He might try it one time just to see right here. Watch him down the back straightaway. We've seen him reel up close to Dallas, but didn't want to make the pass or wasn't able to make the pass. Here he comes.
He's going to close it up for sure.
And looked like he just backed off a little bit.
He just eased off enough.
Now we'll see if he'll make the pass going to the finish line. This is what's going to be important 1 lap from right now. Will he test the waters right here?
He got through the 3 and 4 very good. He's right in line. He could draft here. He's tempting it, but he didn't do it, did he?
I don't know.
I think he's going for turn 3.
Yeah, I don't know if he doesn't want to or if he's just waiting for the very last second. He is so smart.
Here we go. Final trip down the back straightaway. Dallas Daniels, monster-backed Estenson Yamaha. Indian, number 1 of the champ, Jared Meese. Here he comes. He's won 4 of the last 5 here. Here's Meese to the lead. Is it going to be enough? Daniels with a shot at him as they come off of the corner. Meese slips a little bit. That might be enough. Here comes Daniels. Will he go inside or outside? Which way is he going to go? Daniels looking to the outside at the line.
No.
It's Jared Meese. 5 out of 6. 2 miles back-to-back in 2023 for the 8-time champion Jared Meese. And he beats Daniels to the line by 0.04 of a second. And Bauman gets the final spot on the podium, so it's 3 different manufacturers, Indian, Yamaha, and KTM on the podium here at the Red Mile.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Rebel 1100 from Honda.
Sometimes you just don't need one of these. Sometimes all you really need is one of these. Rent whatever you need from people who do whatever it takes. Go to catrentalstore.com. Let's do the work.
Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Please consider supporting injured racers by purchasing a 50/50 ticket at today's event. Check us out on the web at backontrack79.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com.
Light Shoe has been building quality steel shoes for flat track racers since 1998. They serve the flat track community worldwide, building custom hot shoes to fit individual needs with the rider's unique style in mind. With more than 25 years of experience and a 1-year unconditional guarantee, you'll know you've made the right choice when your foot touches the ground going into turn 1. Join the Light Shoe crew. You'll be glad you did.
When you think of a ride, you think of quality.
When it comes to hitting the ground and protecting your head, I wouldn't wear anything else.
The design of it is round and smooth, so when you're rolling through the dirt, your helmet doesn't catch the dirt and hurt your neck.
Safety in flat track and motorsports in general is probably the biggest concern. Obviously, we're all here to win. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about our well-being, and for that, you want to have the best gear on, and for me, a ride's the best choice.
Welcome back to Southern Illinois. It's the Magic Mile, known as Duquoin, at the Duquoin State Fairgrounds. I'm Scott Dubler up here in the booth. Beside me is the legend himself, two-time Hall of Famer, Ralph Shaheen.
I cannot believe you say that in my name together. I mean, I really appreciate you saying that.
Of course.
But truly, as an individual, I'm humbled by it. I cannot believe that's where the career went. I just can't.
When they called me to get into that Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, I thought it was kind of a joke. I was like, are you serious? For real?
Gene Woods.
Yeah, Gene Woods. And, Terry Kerr called me and asked me if I would be in there. And, of course, I want to be in there. It's kind of like getting the call to be the Grand Marshal for the Flat Track Grand Championships. I'm blown away. I'm humbled. It means a whole lot.
It does. And fortunately for the two of us, we both have earned some recognition for what we've done over the years, and I know we both greatly appreciate everything.
Definitely so. On the track right now, Mission Super Twin, sponsored by S&S Cycles. It is qualifying time right now. They put some moisture on the racetrack, get that dust cut down just a little bit, so now we'll see just how fast the track is. I think, Ralph, it will get faster as the sun sets and it cools off a little bit.
I agree. And Gene Woods, if you're listening, we need to put Tree in the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame.
Still, Brad Jones.
Yeah, we're going to get that done.
Definitely. Okay. Also, big shout out and thank you to Luke Brooks bringing us some Sprecher root beer from Wisconsin.
Luke, you are my new favorite person in the world right now for
Luke and wife Katie, and their son is Jack the Ripper.
They
Jack
brought us
Brooks.
some at Cedar Lake last year, right?
Some Sprecher root beer that Brad Jones did not get. Yeah,
shockingly, Brad did get one.
If you're not,
in the Hall of Fame,
truck,
if you weren't in a Hall of Fame, I don't think you got one. And Brad's not in just yet.
Yep. So Ralph's is still in the cooler, getting colder. I just couldn't wait. Mine is going down right now as we speak. Out front, the 3, Briar Bauman pulling away. Here comes Meese on the 1, going by the 95.
And we will say neither one of us are paid representatives by the Sprecher Root Beer Company.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we do love their product.
Yep. So I tag them in some things. I tag Dr. Pepper. If I'm not drinking Dr. Pepper, Sprecher is my
If you're not
favorite.
drinking Dr. Pepper, something is seriously wrong in your world.
It's because there's this.
I don't know anybody, Scotty, in the world who is more tied to a product, if you will, as far as utilizing that product every single day of their life than you are to Dr. Pepper.
You know, I went to England last year in September, and
you must have been out of your mind.
No, the first thing I did.
Take it with you?
No, the first thing I did when I landed is I went to every store inside the airport, and I found 3 Dr. Peppers in bottles to take with me to the hotel. So that got me through for a little while. Then I woke up the next day and went shopping and found some Dr. Pepper. It was similar. It was definitely
touch and go for a week for you. You must have been.
I was going through withdrawals.
Shakes and stuff. I can only imagine. Getting back on the plane a little white.
Yeah. Feeling not good. It wasn't.
Yeah, flight attendant looking like, you okay, Mr. Duquoin?
You have a drug problem? Nope.
Yeah.
Just missing my Dr. Pepper.
Need some Dr. Pepper.
3.5.833 for the 1 of Jared Meese at the top spot. That's even faster. That's the fastest lap we've seen of the day already. Just with that little bit of moisture, Ralph, it's already dropped into the 35-second range. Second round of practice for the 32 was a 36.8. So it's a full second faster than our second round of practice. They're picking up the pace. It is definitely go time. The 1, the 32, the 44, and Ashley Robinson confirmed she does like Brandon's mustache.
Really?
So that's a good thing.
Well, it's a good thing for Brandon.
Well, either that or would have been motivation to win. I mean, you can look at it either way.
Absolutely.
The 3 bike looking really strong today on that KTM. He's up there in the 4 spot, Briar Bauman.
You know, with Brandon's mustache, if he put on some black clothes and a black cowboy hat, he's kind of, the mustache is kind of that, I don't know, it kind of looked to me like old Western kind of gunfighter look.
Put some boots with some spurs on it, come walking down the front straightaway. Meese goes by the 3. Let's see if the 3 can keep him in his sights right now. They go way up the racetrack. Look how high they're going in 1 and 2 right now, Ralph.
They're just letting all that speed carry down there.
Again, hopefully we can get our drone up a little bit later on the Progressive Sky Cam. We can see the track from up above. It does have like 4 unique corners with kind of a little short shoot, but it's hard to tell, you know, at these angles right now.
They're letting that thing
breathe.
Eat all the way up to the wall coming off the corner too.
Way up there. Checker flag is out right here. Meese will lead him to that checker flag from Big P. There's Meese, Breyer 1 and 2 across the line. There's Dallas Daniels on the 32. Dallas having a heck of a season. He's our points leader. The worst finish so far this season for Dallas, 2nd. That is incredible after 8 rounds.
Man, that's just impressed. There you go. There you go.
It's hard to see down here in 1 and 2, but definitely there's a.
In 3 and 4, you can. It looks like you can see it a little bit more dramatically with that short shoot that you're talking about.
Like the guardrail's kind of straight right in the middle.
Yeah, it's for a brief bit.
You can feel it when you're out there on the racetrack, and it looks like they're kind of diamonding the corner down here in 1 and 2.
You can certainly see it in 3 and 4.
It looked like we could almost have some jet ski races on an oval right there in the infield.
Kind of looked like Lake Lloyd in Daytona, didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like that's how it almost went all the way around. I know they were fishing in it yesterday.
Look at that.
There it is. Yeah, we need jet ski racing.
We could do that.
For the halftime show.
I've done that.
You went to some. Did you go to some of those in California, or no? That was something else. Where'd you go?
Did the IJSPA series.
The day after Ventura, you went to do. Was that?
Oh, we went to the jet ski races in Huntington Beach. Yeah, to watch my daughter Libby and I.
I remember some things.
Yeah, our buddy Dave Arnold was announcing down there, and we went and hung out on the beach.
It's just hard.
Watch the races.
Hard to see from right here. There's a little crossover inside turn number 4 to get into the infield of that. There goes Michelle DeSavo taking off running. That's Breyer's mechanic. One of Breyer's mechanics. Dave Zanotti's the other one. They do a lot of that work on those bikes up there at the S&S shop up there in Wisconsin.
That's a quality brain trust right there, right?
Yes.
If you got to have a pair of mechanics working on your machines and they're named Dave and Michelle, you're doing okay in this series.
And Dave is the only father and son to win a championship in American Flat Track, or what used to be AMA Pro Racing. Dave's dad won with Steve Eklund, and Dave has won with Breyer.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That's strong.
The 61 out in front will lead him. That's Casey Sisko. 109 Billy Ross. 223 Jeffrey Lowry. Cam Smith is on the 34. Nick Armstrong on the 60. Brandon Price on the 92. Kevin Stallings on the 99. Cody Johncock's the 96. Jordan Harris on the 77. Gary Ketchum on the number 28. There's a lot of different states represented in this one. And Sisko is from Indiana. Billy Ross from Michigan. Cam Smith just goes up there on the 34. He's from Pennsylvania. Nick Armstrong from California, Brandon Price from Maryland, Stallings from Indiana, John Cox from New York, Harris from Pennsylvania, and Ketchum from Oklahoma. They're from all over the place.
Been waiting for Cameron Smith to really have a breakthrough run this season. He really showed some splashes of brilliance last year, wouldn't you say? And then this year, I was expecting a lot more at the early part of the season. Just hasn't developed for me. Some of it I think has been a little mechanical, but
you got to put the whole thing together and the whole day together. You know, and he's got Jeremy Eischen now wrenching on the bikes, and they're keeping them in different places, and they've got 2 bikes are mile bikes, 2 bikes are half-mile bikes. So going back and forth. What I like too is they put different tank decals on the bikes for different tracks we go to. They gave me a set of one from Daytona and another one from Texas, and I like what they're doing. It's pretty cool,
And a lot of it's funding too, right? To get the pieces and parts and stuff that you need and the people and all that. And I know he's, like a lot of racers, Cameron Smith on that 34 we're talking about right there, they're fighting the financial challenges of the sport like so many, and I get that too.
Well, the privateer team is, you don't have the funds to, the computers you might need and everything you might need, and also making the big step up here to the premier class. He was in production twins.
Hey, sometimes it's just a difference between eating fast food and having a sit-down dinner somewhere where you're eating a little bit better so you feel healthier and you perform better come the next day, or get a better night's sleep instead of sleeping in the box van, right? All of that makes a difference.
And as a privateer, you sleep in the van, you sleep on the side of the road, you sleep on a picnic table, whatever you have to do to get to the races, and save money here and there so you can put it into your race program. As we take a look back at Jordan Harris on the Ryan Barnes Racing Schaefer's Motorsports KTM, the 77 bike. This is our first round of qualifying. There would be 2 rounds. We'll take the fastest lap from either the first round or the second round. Bromley's out there, the Yamaha privateer rider. He's up there in the 13th spot. Brand new dad a couple weeks ago.
Gets his first Father's Day tomorrow. How cool is that?
Cool. They'll be driving home back to Pennsylvania, but that
and he'll be beaming
cool.
No matter what happened here tonight. He'll be beaming because it's his first Father's Day.
Yeah, pretty special day.
Sure is.
109 Billy Ross, one of the riders that had that exhaust system came off of his motorcycle, is what we were told earlier. So the white flag is out for the freak of nature, Kevin Stallings, the 99. He's up to the 11th spot.
That session seemed to go pretty fast.
That was really quick. Everybody's still chasing the number 1, Jared Meese, who was in that first group, 3:5.833. The only bike in the 35-second range so far.
That might be the case all night here today.
Yep, Sisko looking up the inside in the 61. That's the Raffle Racing XG 750 Harley-Davidson.
I was thinking about it earlier when we were talking about some of the legends of racing and all that. We were born in a very lucky era of time that we've been able to see so many great racers, past, present, and still future to come. When you think about it, from the Jared Meese all the way back, you and I are old enough, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, to have seen, a lot of guys in their heyday that aren't racing anymore, but Kenny Roberts of the world, a Gary Nixon, people like that. Pretty lucky.
Very lucky, very lucky. We've seen, and we have the ability to look back at the footage from before our times, even, and see some of that stuff. I know we're catching, the tail end of some of the great careers when we first, started getting into the sport and watched Scotty Parker's career, Chris Carr's career, Springsteen, Ricky Graham, Ronnie Jones, that whole era. Now this is the next era.
Chandler.
And Meese has changed the game, Ralph, and I give him a lot of credit. He's the first one that really got serious.
It's a generational thing.
Got serious about going to the gym, got serious about what he eats, and the ball game's changed. It's all different. Yep. Yeah, so Brad Jones, the other side of the truck, is saying when he got into it, riders would take the last drag of a cigarette, throw it out, put their helmet on, then blow the smoke out. I remember Terry Poovey doing that Springfield Mile, but
or you're like Barry Sheen and you had a hole drilled through the front of your helmet so you could get one on the grid just before they.
That's fantastic.
Turn the green and you win.
The game definitely has changed. First round of qualifying for your Parts Limited AFT single sponsored by Kicker on the racetrack. One of the bikes looked like the chain came off on that bike. I want to point that out. We had 3 or maybe even 4 chains came off yesterday at the Flat Track Grands here on the mile.
We had that problem at the Red Mile, didn't we? We lose the chain up there.
I think we lost one there, but what happened yesterday, it was on, one of them was on Evan Renshaw, one of them was on Braden Fanders, 2 of the fastest guys going for the Nikki Hayden Horizon Award. If you would expect anything, a chain coming off on a mile is very uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
I would expect it like on a TT, we could hear the chain slapping on the swing arm.
Vibration and stuff,
we were thinking, I was talking to Kenny Coolbeth about this earlier, and maybe the back tires are a lot wider on these things. Maybe the chain was hitting the tire. As the tire goes, higher, it gets skinnier when you're on the straightaways, believe it or not. And when it comes down, maybe it's touching the chain.
Like a drag racing tire.
Yeah, exactly.
Grows.
Yep. Changes with the heat of the day and the speeds they're going.
Remember we had Malcolm Stewart one year, I think it was in Phoenix. Actually, it was in Phoenix, in Chase Stadium, where the Arizona Diamondbacks played. We were doing Supercross, and we had the chain came all the way off and then came back on. It was the most unbelievable thing.
That's crazy.
Emmett and I had ever seen.
That is crazy. I've never seen that before. There's only a handful of riders that have raced here before, especially in this class. Davis Fisher, who's in the Premier class, he raced in the GC2 class before. Bromley, who's in the big class. Bronson's in the big class. The only one in the not the Premier class that's raced here before is Dalton Gauthier. He's out there with that white rim on the front of that KTM. They're battling for the top spot. Drain goes to the head of the class with a 3.7.118. Look at this pack of riders. This is what we came to see. This is mile riding and mile qualifying at its finest. This is one of the Yamahas goes way up the racetrack. The singles class running right there on the groove, a little bit different than where the twins are running. The twins, of course, can use that horsepower and that big motor to pull them around the outside of the racetrack. Look at them fan out. They're trying to go 3 and 4 wide. Here comes Pettin, who's had excellent qualifying runs all season long on that 82 KTM. He's caught up there right in about the 4th spot now on the track. This is great.
It's very exciting, and the anticipation for what we're going to see tonight when the money and the glory is on the line is going to be even higher, because that's when they really will put everything on the table.
But qualifying is important, Ralph. I mean, you want to get that $500 Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award, but you also want to start on the front row. You don't want to have to pass as many people as you can if you start further in the back. However, it can be done on a mile racetrack.
Yeah.
59, Tom Drain sneaking a peek up the inside, trying to make it happen on the Estenson Yamaha. His teammate goes to the outside on the 21, Trevor Bruner. Pettin working his way through the pack.
Yeah.
He's up there to 2nd on the racetrack. He's 5th, now 6th on the speed charts.
Yeah, he's charging up through there.
He's still trying to get a full day put in. He qualifies very well. Yeah, Kopp and Whale have told us before that these KTMs just aren't quite as fast on these miles, but they would rather finish and gain points than push the envelope and maybe not have mechanical issues.
Well, they're thinking big picture, right?
Yes,
they're
exactly.
They want the championship.
There goes Kopp around the outside.
Boy, that's pretty strong.
And Max Whale goes even
What was
further
that again
around
about
the
KTM's not that strong?
There they are right there, but they're also sitting in 3rd and 9th right now on the speed chart. So they're up there.
Well, your speed in qualifying, your speed in racing isn't necessarily always the same thing, nor does it have to be. Right?
You have to have the racecraft to get up there. One of those really far to the outside. They're trying to go 4 wide in the corner. And I've got a great picture from San Jose with Ricky Graham, Ronnie Jones, and Steve Moorhead like that on a mile. It just doesn't happen that often as the checkered flag is out. You can see them slowing down, putting their hand out to let everybody know they're letting off the throttle. But, man, I like the banking on this racetrack. And Greg Teague, former national number 58, texted me and he said, as far as mile tracks, this is it. He said, there isn't anything like this.
No, that's for sure.
Different colored dirt, different kind of dirt.
And it's something, as a fan of this form of motorsport, you definitely need to experience it live.
Definitely.
You know, if you love IndyCar racing, you got to go to the Indy 500. If you love NASCAR, you need to go to Talladega.
Sure.
You know, if you like flat track racing, Duquoin is, if you were to go to 1 mile to see flat track racing at its absolute finest, this would be the one.
This one, if you want 2 in one weekend, go to Springfield Labor Day weekend.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying.
You know, but I mean, if you
see.
really wanted to see flat track racing in its purest form, don't you think this is probably the best
'cause
mile for that?
You've seen these big groups of riders. Hopefully, we'll have the same thing in the Super Twins. You know, they're a little bit more spread out in their practice sessions. Now these guys are getting further spread out than the last group. But yeah, I mean, you'll see the racecraft, you'll see the strategy. You're going to see some, you know, cat and mouse. We saw Jared Meese and Dallas Daniels have cat and mouse at Lexington. It'll be a different game of cat and mouse here today.
I mean, I love all the miles, but I think for the purity of mile flat track racing, I think Duquoin really is the definition of what it is.
Last group, first round of qualifying on the racetrack. It's group number 2 for your Parks Unlimited AMT singles class. 51, Cole Zabala. 75, Terran Santero. 24 is Hunter Bauer. 117, Landon Smith. 216, Declan Bender. 56, Jordan Jean. 155, Olin Kistler. 55, Tyler Raggio. 121, Jacob Cassio. 76, Dave Wiggin. Good to see him out there. He picked up the Ryan Vard Scholarship Award at the Red Mile. It's good to see him out. He's away from school now for a little bit. Damon Ream on the 14, Aiden Brown 112. Reese Podor from Kansas on the 106. Jess Reynolds, she's from Pennsylvania on the 270. 149, Tragan Birchstock. 107 is Wyatt Vaughn.
Hey, we got Lima next week.
Ohio, the Ohio National.
And if you want to talk about half miles that you need to experience, there you go, right?
The only true pea gravel track on the circuit is next weekend. And the fans line up all the way around the fence.
They sure do.
They cover their ice cold beverage with their hand. When the bikes go by, they take it off and take a drink and wait for the next time.
It is truly an experience.
Definitely.
Truly an experience. Looking forward to that.
If you get there early, you can walk around the track and get different points of view, different spots just to see the races from. And sometimes you might stand on the front straightaway. You might get pelted with a few pea gravel rocks here and there. Sometimes, you know, it's better if you like that experience to go down into the corners, but you never know what's going to happen. And it used to be like the bigger guys, the stronger guys could win. And then Shayna Texter-Bauman a few years ago went out there on her Husqvarna then and put it on all the boys, and she's no bigger than a minute. So that just threw that out the window. You know, you'd think somebody strong like Henry Wiles would do good there, and of course he did do good there, but you know, then when Shayna Texter-Bauman wins, when she's as small as she is, it changes the ball game. 75's got all kinds of head shake. That is Santero, another one of the taller riders. He's had head shake the last couple times at the end of the straightaways too. That could be a number of different things. Could be just the positioning on the motorcycle. Some, you know, that front wheel might not be true. There's a few different things that they might have to work on, and hopefully he can go back to the pit area and make a few more changes before we get into our heat race action.
Of course, Jared Meese, the promoter of next week's race in Lima. His wife.
Want to have his cake and eat it too, like Ronnie Jones did way back in 1991 at the Oklahoma City Half Mile. Ronnie won everything that night. Heat race, Camel Challenge, main event.
It's a good night back
and he was the promoter. That was a fun night.
You got to write a check. You might as well sign it to yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. One rider slips off the groove. It's the 76 of Dave Wiggin from Tulsa, Oklahoma. 2 Tulsa riders here this weekend.
When are you going to promote one?
You know, I thought about it a long time ago at like the Lazy Arena, but I'd like to do it in the wintertime. You know, like, you know, that's what attracts.
You want to do a full national?
I don't know, right? You know, there's not a right now, in my opinion, you know, the Oklahoma City Mile, we've been there a few times, and I don't think I'd want to go back there. I'd like to try something different, but I would love to race there, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where they race the Chili Bowl.
Yeah, we all of us think that in between, just before the Chili Bowl starts,
the Tulsa Shootout.
When they get done with the Tulsa Shootout, and the dirt's already there.
We used to race during the Tulsa Shootout. We raced flat track in there, and I raced there a few times. I actually raced arena cross in there before as well. At the Tulsa Shootout, they had arena cross and oval the same day. It was a long day.
That's a lot of work.
It was a lot of fun though. I mean, you have to see, if you're a fan of motorsports, you got to see a little bit of everything that day. Yeah. You know, I definitely think we should go to the Chili Bowl. Another one I think we should go to is like when they go to the Dome in St. Louis, like for the late models, Kenny Wallace.
Oh yeah.
The dirt's already there.
In December,
Let's put the bikes on there too. We're just dreaming.
Let's get on that. I think I'm open.
Why don't you, Mr. Speed Sport 1, SS1?
I got a TV network to run.
Well,
I'm already busy. I'll bring the cameras.
Well.
I'll bring the cameras. You get the event organized.
Broaden the horizons of SS1.
I'll bring the cameras.
Sounds great. Oh,
yeah, Astrodome's still sitting there. You want to get really crazy.
Let's go back to the Houston Astrodome. Short track one night, TT.
About Energy Stadium right next door.
I've done a monster truck show.
Those guys aren't doing anything in the winter. The Texans season will be over by week 1. They got nothing going on.
Man,
how about
it's getting rough in here.
How about it?
Woo! First round of qualifying
right after
in the books. I'm trying to change the subject real quick before we get the Houston Texans mad at us. First round of qualifying is in the books. We'll have an open paddock area. And don't forget to get your raffle tickets for that brand new PW50 from Back on Track. Ronnie Jones's daughter's walking around, and so is Jackie Mitchell's daughter. They're walking around, or you can stop by their booth and get raffle tickets for not only that PW50, they're giving that away tonight, but they're also the YZ450F. They'll give that thing away next weekend. Raffle tickets available for both right here tonight. Again, that PW50 goes away. Goes to somebody. It's going home with somebody tonight.
I don't know if I can get in the overhead.
Well, you could try. They're going straight into that second round of qualifying. I like it. We were behind the 8-ball slivet, trying to play catch-up. So we're back on the track right now. It is your Super Twins. The time to beat right now. Jared Meese, the only bike in the 35-second bracket. 35.833 for the Jammer. Jared Meese. On the one bike, fastest bike we've seen so far. So I take it you're not a Texan fan, huh?
I don't have anything against him. I have a lot against the Cowboys, but the Texans are okay. But being a Niner fan, you know, I can't like the Cowboys at all.
Look at Breyer pulling out of the way. He wants to get back in line. He wants to see what Jared Meese is doing. Fisher's going up there on the 67. He picked up the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award at the last race at the Lexington Red Mile. So Fisher likes these big mile racetracks. I've expected him to win a few more races so far, just one in his career, but he's up there. He wants to keep finishing in the top 5. His goal is to finish 5th in the points, and that's where he sits right now, the 67 bike. Built himself a brand new home up there in Michigan. Did it, most of it himself.
That's impressive. Actually, the Texans will probably have a better season. They've got a brand new quarterback and everything. So.
Well, yeah, if you finish last, you get good draft picks, right?
Yep.
Well, we've got a good quarterback out there in Denver, and now we got a new coach, so we'll see.
You're going nowhere.
We'll see about that. We might put another wager when they play each other. Look at this. Briar Bauman to the head of the class, 37.045 for the KTM.
You need to be worried about those guys over in Kansas City, not worried about the Niners.
Man. I'm not worried about the Niners. I thought you were talking about your Carolina Panthers. I know you got season tickets there because you live there, but you're a diehard 49er fan. Okay, I'm not worried about the 49ers yet.
Oh.
Are you?
I'm not worried about them. I'm thrilled for him.
There you go.
He got an awesome season ahead.
The one bike pulling the freight train onto the front straightaway.
How excited do you think Jared Meese is going to be if he checks the box and finally wins Duquoin tonight?
This might be probably his most emotional win of the season for sure.
Maybe
for
of his career, of any particular event. Just because it's such a legendary place and he hasn't won here yet and he knows the window of opportunity is closing. And to get it done here tonight, leading into Father's Day, I think would be amazing.
It would be very cool, you know, and it would cement him in 3rd all-time with the winningest mile racers in the history of our sport, which is another thing he wants to check off. But yeah, he came up a couple inches short to Brian Smith the last time we were here back in 2015, so I know he wants to win this one really bad. Really bad. He's up there trying the high line. Dallas Daniels running the low line on the 32 Estenson Yamaha. Doesn't look like either one of them want to show their cards just yet. There's a little bit of a issue right there in the middle of turn number 2. Not an issue, but a little bit of a not smooth spot.
Dallas out front here. Jared getting a close-up look at where the 32 wants to go.
Yeah, they're just playing with each other. You know, tire wear may be a factor. Look at all this rubber that's going down. Yesterday, you know, the amateurs were out here with a couple different tire compounds, and there was a lot of tire wear just in the laps that they went yesterday. You know, they were doing 8-lap main events, so tire wear may be an issue. Might have to save some tires for the end of the race. We'll see. And I'm not sure exactly what's different between 1 and 2. They look the same from our aerial shot, but
do you see how tucked in Breyer was all the way coming off the 2? Man, he was down over the tank right through the middle of turn 2.
And he needs to do that because he's one of the taller guys.
Yeah.
So the sooner he can get down, the sooner he can get out of the wind. And he has to do that as soon as he can to keep up these little guys in front of him.
Watch him. Well, we're going to get the checkered here, so he probably won't have to do it again.
That's all right. He's right there, though. You know, he's close. Now he goes to the top spot, 3:7.05. It must have been the tuck that you saw, Ralph.
Could have been.
He's still not quite as fast as
Jared. He only had to get, what, 100th of a second over his brother.
Look at that. Bronson up there second on the Fast Track Racing KTM.
Man, I can't wait to see Jared and Dallas go out. It's going to be awesome, just like the Red Mile.
And then throw Breyer in the mix. Let's put Bronson up there, man. He's having a great day so far. Second fast on his KTM, 3:7.055. Meese, 5th quick here in this session. Maybe they changed some things. Maybe he's trying some things.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he's the only rider so far.
But he was at the front, breaking the wind open for a lot of people too.
So he had the chain and pulling everybody down the front straightaway. So that does slow everybody. Slow you down a little bit.
There's Bronson.
There goes Brombo. So the 3-bike quickest so far.
But those guys would like to see
round.
San Jose back on the schedule.
Yes,
Bronson
right there near their hometown, Salinas. Last group, Mission Super Twins, last round of qualifying here. They come onto the racetrack. Open paddock area is scheduled right now from 6:10 till 7 o'clock. He can go down towards turn number 4. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit here. They come onto the front straightaway. Group number 2, 61, Casey Sisko from Indiana, Billy Ross from Michigan, Jeffrey Lowry from Ohio on the 223, Cameron Smith from Pennsylvania on the 34, Nick Armstrong from California on the 60, Brandon Price from Maryland on the 92, Kevin Stallings from Indiana, Cody John Cox on the 96 from New York, 77, Jordan Harris from Pennsylvania on the 28, Gary Ketchum from Tulsa, Oklahoma. He said I was giving him too much credit. The Red Mile, I told everybody he's 61. I believe he's 63. Still out here competing. He came through the ranks with Ronnie Jones and those guys.
It's impressive.
Yep. Looks like he lost touch with the leaders already, though. In this first lap, there's John Cox. The 99 drops to the bottom. Kevin Stallings. Bromley goes way up to the outside. No, that's not Bromley. Some yellow leathers. That's going to be Nick Armstrong. That's my fault. Where is that Bromley? It does look like Bromley. Yeah, it is Bromley, 62. Okay, he's showing on my sheet. He was showing in that first group, so I must have put him in the second group. Haven't talked about Ben Lau just yet, but he's off the pace at a 3:7.5, so about a half a second slower than the leader. He was in that first group. He's at 9th. JD Beach way back there in the 9th spot on the 95.
That's surprising.
Yeah, he's
especially when you see Dallas all the way up there in 3rd, and you know those motorcycles are basically the same.
Unless they're trying something different on his bike.
Or he just got hung out in the wrong spot with the wrong people, right?
It depends on who you go out there and get hooked up with. Yeah. 2 rounds of qualifying for both classes. We're on round number 2 of the Super Twins. We'll have 2 groups of singles.
Because you're talking about 0.4 of a second.
Right.
It's the difference, right?
It's
the blink of an eye.
It's not like he's way off the pace, but we just expect him to be up there a little bit closer to his teammate. We'll have 2 groups of singles next, and then we'll have our break in the action. You can go to the pit area if you're here and check out what's going on down there in the American Flat Track pit. Stop by the marketplace, grab yourself something to get autographed. Take that Sideburn magazine down there. Official magazine of American Flat Track. Always has some really cool articles as Kevin Stallings punches the 99 out in front.
Can people get a copy of the program you're on the cover of here today?
I don't think so. That's all for the Flat Track Grand Championships. I don't believe there's any of them out there. I didn't see any. I didn't see any when we went over there to the Mission Foods tent.
I didn't get my autographed copy. I was just wondering.
Did you want one?
Well,
for your dartboard or?
For the collection, you know.
All right. I'll see if I can get
Scotty Dubler collection.
Who's that? 3:7.045 for Breyer. Fastest on the track right now, I believe, is possibly the 60, Nick Armstrong, up there in the 10th spot here in this round. Armstrong builds his own motorcycles. They had a great article about Nick Armstrong and him building his own bikes in that Sideburn magazine. From the UK over there, and they got a little different outlook and a different perspective on flat track.
Did you ever build one from the ground up, Scotty?
Heck no. I'm not very smart. My dad didn't even let me work on my bike. What are you talking about?
You don't want me anywhere near building your motorcycle.
Exactly.
Especially if you're going to go race it. You want to make sure everything's
I'll take
put
care
on there right.
I'll take care of cleaning it. You know, maybe let me do the filters and make sure the number plates are on tight. But he took care of all the mechanical stuff. I appreciate that. We had maybe 3 mechanicals my whole career, and that's because of my dad. Fast Eddie. Happy Father's Day once again to all you dads out there watching on fanschoice.tv or that are here with us. Bromley on the 62 moves up to 12th on that last couple of laps. Nick Armstrong is 10th here in this second round of qualifying for your Mission Super Twins. They will all make it into 2 qualifying heat races. And unofficially, the one bike of Jared Meese will pick up another $500, being the Pronto Parts Plus pole setter. He'll be in opening ceremonies with us in just a little bit. Opening ceremonies coming up at 7 o'clock Central Time. The open paddock area is scheduled from 6:10 until about 6:50. 7 o'clock is opening ceremonies. 7:25 is our first qualifying heat race. That is Central Time Zone, as we are in southern Illinois, about 2 hours south of St. Louis. There's a look at your second round of qualifying. Breyer and Bronson, 1 and 2. 2 different teams, with both of them making the switch on over to KTM's. Breyer for 3.7.045, Bronson 3.7.055, almost identical. Dallas is in third, then a slew of Indians, Vanderkoy, Meese, Fisher, Robinson, and 3 more Yamahas, Carlisle, JD Beach, Nick Armstrong, your top 10. Ben Loud, Dan Bromley, Stallings, John Cox, Harris, Ross, as the singles are already on the racetrack. Final round of qualifying for your singles. Here they are on the track, moving into the first corner. Ooh. That is another one. We got another one from the 88. Braden Fanders brought us another one. This one's not cold yet. But this is the Menards Sprinter Revere.
Cool.
Yeah, so I got one with
his sticker on the back.
A Braden Fanders sticker on the back and an autograph on the front.
That is really
they brought
rad.
me another one over here.
I like that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And Zach wants it back, so there it goes. We had it for a second, and it disappears. Man. That's how they treat us up here in the front
they don't
semi.
last, baby. They get those things around here. Stick it around.
Group number 1 on the track for your singles riders. The 2 teammates out in front, the 49 and the 19. That is the First Impressions Husqvarna's out there. 49, Chad Coast, the California kid. 19, James Ott from Simi Valley, California. There they are trying to break away. The good thing for these 2, Ralph, is they're teammates, and they're both about the same size. I think Chad might weigh a little bit more, but they can help set each other's bike up, kind of like how Kopp and Maxwell do. You know, I mean, I'm sure they both like a little bit different settings, but overall, you know, the height of the bike, you know, and maybe the shocks they use are very similar, but you know, just the settings to each rider's likeness. It'd be nice to have a teammate.
That helps a lot.
Yeah, and these 2 are trying to work together, and they're first and second across the line, 38.3 and 38.3. And here comes Bruner to 37.493. 37.4, so not quite as fast as they were earlier just yet, but they're just getting up to full song. Sadoff still looking for that first win. He's up there second. Drain is third. And look at that freight train.
Well, this would be a big night for Trevor if he can pull one.
Yeah, he needs to. I mean, he hasn't won yet this season, and you know, it's been a great
teammate has.
Right.
He's a rookie.
And he's brand new. Yeah, he's brand new with us. First full season for Tom Drain with the 59 S&T Yamaha. So he's an Australian road race champion and a flat track champion.
Pretty good combination.
There you go. One of the Turner Hondas going up to the high side, the long way around. See Dalton Gauthier at the back of that pack right there. There's a little skittery bump right there. Just a little bump. It doesn't seem to disrupt anything too bad. So that loose dirt gets pushed up against the wall. When they get up there and brush up against it, it kicks up a bunch of dust. So they're trying to stay away from it. They'll try to get that water truck as close to it as possible a little bit later on. Right in the middle of that is the 91. That's Justin Jones doing a privateer thing with him and his dad, going to all these races. Saw him a couple weeks ago at the Dairyland Classic. Left there, drove overnight up to Canada, raced up there at Welland Speedway. They had a little U.S. versus Canada race, and Doug Lawrence, used to be National number 73, took the win at that one.
Did you call all of those?
I did not call either one of them. I went to the Dairyland just to watch, and then I just watched what was going on social media with the Battle of the Border up there in Welland, Ontario, Canada. It's one of the racetracks I wish I would have went to. You know, it's been resurfaced since I was racing just recently. They actually resurfaced it, made it about 6 inches taller, they said, but it would have been a track.
It's a lot of dirt.
Yeah, for it's only a short track, so it's not.
Still, it's a lot of dirt.
That is a lot of dirt to shuffle.
You build it
in.
up 6 inches. That's a lot.
Yeah, all the way around. So yeah, it would have been a nice racetrack for me. I like the groove tracks, the hard packed clay tracks. You know, most of them are car tracks that I grew up racing on in Oklahoma and in the Midwest. Bruner, this time he's paying attention to what's going on in front of him a little bit better than he was at the red mile when he went up that back straightaway wall. Yeah, I don't know how he learned that or where he learned that from. As Drain takes a look over his shoulder, wanting to see if he's going to get back in line behind anybody. It's Tom the Bomber, 59.
Great song by Motorhead. That's another story.
All right. Drain goes to the top spot. A couple laps ago, 37.182. Just a little bit off of his first qualifying round, 37.118. So far it's Tom Drain. Maxwell was fastest in that second round of practice, but Drain's been fastest in both qualifying sessions, so might get to hear from him early, picking up that extra $500. Not seeing a lot of tear-offs out there.
No.
You know, there's a little bit of dust kicking up, but
not a lot of mud.
Not a lot sticking to the lenses.
No.
So
guys are blowing right through it.
Yeah, usually when there's a lot of dirt on your shield, you reach up, grab a tear-off. You can see someone will take them off right here before they go back to the pit area, so I can see what's going on as they make their way through the crowd going back to their pits. But one more group to go, practicing qualifying, then the paddock will be open. Stop by and get your raffle tickets for that brand new PW50. That's over there at Back on Track. Last group coming to the racetrack for practicing qualifying. Then we'll be all done until 7 o'clock. Again, the open paddock area coming up here real soon, right after this one. To go to there, go right down the front of the grandstands. You'll see a sign to the paddock area. You can make a hard left-hand turn and go back to the pits. They're outside of the back of the grandstands and outside turn number 4. Final group rolling on to the racetrack. 32 entries here in the singles class. All 32 will make it into 2 qualifying heat races. And we'll take the top 8 riders out of there. I'm sorry, top 6 riders out of the heats and out of the semis to make 18 rider main events. Leader off of turn number 2 onto the back straightaway. Look like possibly the 51 or the 56. Zabala's on the 51. No, it's the 149 going to lead them, so they switched it all up a little bit. That's Tragan Burt's song, a Kansas rider. If I get things sorted out, kind of spreading out just a little bit. There's Declan Bender. He's made 2 main events so far this season in his first rookie year. Hayden Brown right there with those purple rims, easy to find on the racetrack, from Walton, Kentucky. Zabala from Illinois, love to get a win out here. Santero from California, Hunter Bauer from Canada, Landon Smith from Florida on the 117. Declan Bender, 216, also an Illinois rider. Jordan Jean from Michigan on the 56. Olin Kistler, Oregon rider, number 155. Tyler Raggio, 55, is from California. Cassio on the 121. David Wiggin on the 76. Bream is on the 14. Aiden Brown, 112. Reese Podorf, 106. Jess Reynolds, she's from Pennsylvania on the 270. Birdsong, I just mentioned, and Wyatt Vaughn is also out there. They call him Red. On number 107, borrowed a motorcycle for today. Was trying to go up to racing that Twins class. They said he doesn't quite have enough experience in American Flat Track to make the move up to the Twins class just yet. So he'll ride some more singles races. He's already sold his Hondas to build and work on that Twins race. He was that Twins bikes. So he's going to try to get some more seat time here in the singles class before he makes that move up to a Twin for full time. Podorf on the 106 leads the freight train down the back straightaway. 106 not in the top 26 spots just yet. Jess Reynolds up there in the 23rd position. Shana Texter Bauman, the other female racing with us, she's up there 11th currently here in this second round. Leaders got company. There's Cassio on the 121. Raggio moves up to 12th. Declan Bender up to 15th. Damon Ream to 20th. Some of the bikes that are on the racetrack right now. You can watch the live timing and scoring on your smartphone, on your computer, on your tablet. Go to the App Store or the Marketplace, whatever kind of phone you have. There's a free version. I believe there's a little bit more expensive 99-cent or $1.99 version, if I remember right. Watch the live timing and scoring. You also click on a button to go to fanschoice.tv if you want to, straight from the app. Look at them 2x2 off of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. Now they're trying to go 2x2 into turn number 1. New leader goes out in front. Just on the racetrack, not on the speed chart. Couple little spots over there breaking up over there right in the middle of 1 and 2 and one right in turn number 2. Doesn't seem to be bothering anybody, though. Kicks up a little bit of dust.
Well, it's a warm day out there, and there's no break from the sunshine anywhere. There's not a cloud in the sky.
Yeah, just right there on the front straightaway. It's already behind the grandstands, but that's not where we want the break. We need the break in the corners, you know. So they'll take it easy when they're watering the racetrack. When they get on that front straightaway, don't get up too close to that wall. White flag is out. Final group, final round of qualifying for your Parks Limited AT Singles, sponsored by Kicker. Look at this big group of riders. Man.
It's going to be fun. I'm telling you, main events are going to be amazing tonight.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I like what they're doing, throwing 16 of them out there at a time, you know, so they're not so spread out, and it actually will speed up the program a little bit, too.
Speeds up the
at
program,
the same time. Yeah, like you said, Ralph, it's more of a race feel for these guys who don't have a lot of experience, and they're practicing their craft right now.
That's how they're going to be better and faster as they move up through the ranks. And I think it's better for the fans, too, whether they're in the grandstands watching or watching with us here on Fans Choice.
There you go. Checkered flag is out. Santero up to 12th on the 75. Raggio to 13th on the 55. Declan Bender, 15th, the Illinois rider on the 216. Landon Smith had a good shot right there. Goes up to 20th on that last lap, his fast lap. Hunter Bauer, 18th on the 24, the Canadian rider. Look, they're waving at everybody. They're not waving at us on the camera. They're waving to let everybody know they're all slowing it down right here and cooling it down before they exit the racetrack in turn number 4. Once again, in just a moment, they'll open up the paddock area. It's scheduled from 6:10 until 6:50, about maybe right before 7 o'clock. Opening ceremonies right at 7.
Yeah, so you got about 10 minutes to figure out your plans.
Yeah. Stop by, grab yourself a souvenir, get a T-shirt, go to the marketplace, get that Sideburn magazine, get your raffle tickets for that PW50. We're giving away that little Yamaha here tonight, right here tonight. That Yamaha's going home with somebody. In the open pit area, go down there, meet your favorite rider, get an autograph from them, tell them good luck on their quest to win the Magic Mile here in Southern Illinois.
And we'll be back in a bit as we step aside from here. There you go. Let's go get on the
trotter horse.
Horse. Let's go do that.
All right.
We'd be good.
Opening ceremonies.
The one with the red shaking his head going, yeah, come on, guys. Come on. I'm ready for you.
See you in a little bit.
See you in a bit, folks.
Bye.
For American flat track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet, celebrating America's original extreme sport. The 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at Lima.